It's Toya Kanban Roar, or Toyo to you, depending on which time zone you are in. Hello everyone, we're doing some Great Ace Attorney tonight. I didn't feel like doing Genshin, I didn't feel like doing, Star Rail. I know there is like a Genshin event that I should probably do, but you know what? I'm just gonna go straight into this again, because we need to figure out what exactly is happening with Professor Harebrained, with Albert, and we need to figure out where exactly and what exactly Enoch Drebber is up to. So let's get right into it. We stopped off right as we were about to go to his factory, if I remember correctly. So, wait. Or wait, no. Or was it like we were supposed to look behind the curtain? Huh. You know what? Let's just keep on going. Anyways. Oh wait, no, because we came back here because, Gina and Toby was looking for the factory. 5 shillings we have to pay. It doesn't seem right somehow that Mr. Shum slipped the money into his own pocket, does it? No. Ah, we can ask Gina to retrieve it for us, using her special skills, but she's a cop now, Sasato. That would be unethical. Pickpocketing police officers and diddling detectives. Is this what makes Britain great? Not to mention, demigod prosecutors taking the law into their own hands, or chip-living inspectors. It's just a colorful bunch, Rinosuke. We gotta do what we gotta do. Inspector Gregson comes off well, rather well in that list, I think. Well, let's take a look and see what's up here. 23rd October. Madame Tispel's special exhibit. Oh. Well, it looks like we kind of got ahead of ourselves, didn't we? Huh. Oh dear. I felt a shiver run down my spine as we walked in here. Interesting. Who is this? Wait. Oh, hold up. Looks different. But the shape of the shape of the jawline, though. Could this be Enoch Drebber? But then the difference in the hair? Because this was a photographic print from what, 10 years ago? Something like that? Yeah. Like a while back. So, oh dear. I felt a shiver run down my spine as soon as we walked in here. Sasato, no! Miss Sasato! I say we turn around our heels and go straight home via a very big conviction. Sorry, I had to go grab my little Susato and Rinosuke. Oh my god. How the turns tabled. Oh my gosh. So, it's been a while since we played last, but like, last time it was Susato that was wanting to go back home via a big confectionery, and now it's Rinosuke. It's like, Susato, let's go. I will buy you the things. Okay? We certainly can't do that. We paid 5 shillings already. Susato, no. The big confectionery. Susato, please. Susato. True. Rinosuke, please. Actually, now that I'm looking a little more closely, this guy seems a little bit lopsided. You know? Almost as if his head is missing. The candle here though, that's kinda like, I feel like it's a lot of work to just like have candles here all the time, or like a candle lit all the time in the hopes of like someone paying 5 shillings for this. But anyways, we've paid good money to see an exhibit that's clearly incomplete. Yeah, what happened to the head? The nerve of the great diddling detective is far more terrifying than anything else in this place. This must be what Mr. Sholmes meant when he said the case was largely solved. So the head is somewhere. Oh, wait! I remember, like, my little theory is that they used this body as a body double, right? So because the machine emits smoke, right? So what I think happened is that it just opened a trapdoor. Like, the machine opens... Wait, hang on. Let me find the schematics. So the machine, like, this is where... Hang on, I need to look at my outer screen. So this is where the guy was, right? Like, here in the cage. So the machine doesn't actually work. It opens a trapdoor, and it goes straight down here, right? So the third hot air balloon that was around here, right? Popped, and then a body fell here, right? Which means... if that theory is true, we should be able to find the head of this mannequin, this wax mannequin, somewhere in the Crystal Tower, right? And why I think it's a trapdoor, one, Susato made the observation that, hey, it looks like it opens inwards. And if we take a look at the bottom here, there's impact here, right? If he actually fell headfirst, the impact would be here instead of, like, here. Meaning all the impact is here, here, right? So if we can find the head, we have a very good got a very good case. We just need to get there. Be that as it may, Mr. Sholmes heavily implied there would be a clue about the engineer in here, didn't he? But where? I assume this guy, right? Because they got the same jawline. Since we've paid 5 shillings, let's do 5 shillings worth of investigation, shall we? I'm also like, where's the smoke coming from? That's amazing. Damn, Tispel, you are good. Yes, we will get what we paid for. That's right, Susato. We will get what we paid for. Is that fear or frustration that's making Susato-san's voice tremble? The owl, though, like, hang on. Okay. Let's take a look at this guy. This must be the killer, the fiend known as the Professor. Yes, I think so. According to what Madame Tispel said, he killed 5 victims, all of noble or royal blood. The waxwork is so lifelike, isn't it? Like all the models in this place. True. I know. It looks like it could start moving at any moment, doesn't it? If only it had a head, that is. Yeah, it's just a little like Frosty the Snowman. We need the head, the hat, and everything just for it to come to life. Perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. Ooh. Let's take a look. Ooh. So this is the condemned man. Yes, the so-called professor. Then perhaps his head was chopped off by a guillotine. I mean, it could, but the fact that there is a socket here for a head means that it probably has a head to begin with. But unable to find peace, he emerged from his grave as a headless ghost. Susato, do we have to entertain such terrifying ideas, Mr. Sato? Anyway, I'm sure the model had a head once. There's a metal fitting for it, see? Then, perhaps Mr. Sholmes absentmindedly forgot to reattach it. You know, I get the feeling that Sholmes is absent-minded. I don't think he's that absent-minded. You know? That's an extremely absent-minded detective you're describing, isn't it? Or perhaps The thief absentmindedly forgot to include the head when he or she returned it to the museum. I feel like it's that, but it's also like perhaps the head just fell off because it, you know, it fell from a significant height. And that'll be an extremely absent-minded thief. Could there have been some reason why only the head wasn't returned? Well, whatever the reason, it means we don't know what the face of the infamous professor looked like, do we? Dots. Oh. Oh? There's something caught just inside the convict's jacket here. Oh, what is it? It looks like a piece of broken glass, and quite a big piece too. So yeah, it flung into the crystal tower. I was right. I'm not insane. I'm not crazy. Well, okay, maybe I am insane. Maybe I am a little bit crazy, but still, you cannot discount the fact that my crockpot idea was accurate. Maybe. It's very thick, isn't it? About 5 times thicker than normal window glazing, I'd say. Where did such a thick piece of glass have come from, I wonder? I suppose it must have been made thick to increase its strength. Maybe. But why? Well, perhaps because the glass had to span a particularly wide area, such as in a big building, for example, or yeah, perhaps the Crystal Tower, maybe. Well, we've seen a large glass building recently, haven't we? And some of the glass is broken too. Good job, Inosuke. Good job. You don't mean... Exactly. The Crystal Tower at the Great Exhibition. But why would glass from the Crystal Tower be lodged inside this waxworks jacket? Because it was in the hot air balloon that exploded. It makes you think, doesn't it? A piece of broken glass has been entered into the Dakota record. Let's go. Earlier in code we established that the kinesis experiment was a trick. And now we discover this fragment of glass here in this waxwork. Is it just a coincidence? It's not. It's not. Good sir, it's not. We gotta use her. We gotta turn that single gear in our brain, please. Is there anything else we can ascertain from this? Probably not. Let's go take a look at this then. This part of the exhibit is just as disturbing as the rest. It looks so real. It seems to be a young man in a white overcoat, and he has a large shovel in his hand too. Look, a gravedigger. Right? Probably. A gravedigger, but also a camera? Why? Perhaps we should investigate in a little more detail. Can we like... Oh, we can. Wait, but yeah, the cross symbols? This has to be Drebber, right? Let's take a look. What a large shovel. He's holding it rather ominously, isn't he? What on earth was the man doing with a shovel in the graveyard in the middle of the night? Well, to probably dig it up, right? He was trying to pull a Dr. Frankenstein, maybe. Mr. Sato. Yes? That's a spade. God damn it, Rino-san, come on! Even now? Sir, we're trying to investigate a man's life. A man's life is in danger. Good sir, please. Please. Dots. No, it's a shovel. Okay. No. Shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade. Alright then, Runosuke. We've been through this, Mr. Naruhodo. It's a shovel. No. Although, we haven't considered trowels. Runosuke, please. Dots. We've allowed ourselves to be distracted, I feel. Perhaps we should concentrate on what the man was doing with the implement. They were gonna bury the hatchet. Ah, I see. We do intend to bury the hatchet. But is it with a spade or a shovel, I wonder? You're right, though. What was the man doing in the graveyard in the first place? That's the real question. That's a camera. What's this here? Well, this would appear to be a lens in the middle, so I believe it's probably a camera. A camera? But it's so small. True. British technology is incredible, isn't it? I mean, what about Mr. Sholmes' skin prints? I think perhaps you should treat Mr. Sholmes' inventions as exceptions to the rule. Yeah, true. His skin prints are actually kind of amazing since it is tagged to like specific people and we can see it through the colors. But anyway, why would the man be in the graveyard at night with a camera? I wonder. Perhaps he was trying to capture the moment a dead body came back as a ghost on film. Why specifically that? You know, why specifically that? Like, I feel like he was he is definitely a grave robber or anything. Dots. We'll just borrow this for a little while, I think. The camera has been entered into the court record. Okay. We're just taking it? By looking at the photographic plate inside the camera, we can see what picture was taken. What's a photographic plate? I mean, wait. But isn't this a reproduction? Would there actually be a plate in there? Like assuming this is Drebber, would he willingly give his camera to be put on display here? Right? It's a piece of glass coated in a special emulsion that reacts to the light coming in through the lens. If we open the cover at the back of the camera, we should find it. Let's have a look. You should see yourself, Sasato-san. Your eyes are shining. Aw. You really do like machinery, don't you? Okay, before we do that, let's take a look at this lantern. It's quite a large lamp the man's carrying. Or is it a lantern? It's not like a Japanese chochin paper lantern, actually. Is it? Lamp, lantern, chochin. The point is, it casts very little light. To be walking alone in a graveyard at night with only this, well, I certainly couldn't do it. I'm not sure I could visit a graveyard at all, even in broad daylight, to be honest. Can we take a look at the guy? I can't see his face very well. Can you? Perhaps if I just... Oh! Do you think you should be manhandling the exhibits, Mr. Naruhodo? I mean, probably not, but Madame Tispels isn't here, right? So it's a-okay. I'll put it back exactly as it was, don't worry. Yeah, we paid 5 shillings for this. Oh, wait, can we see the face? Oh. It's Enoch Drebber. Yo, it's got the monocle and everything, right? It is Enoch Drebber. Look at this. Like, he looks a little more well put together, but the eyebrows, the monocle. Right? The tie? Wait, hang on. Yeah. Let's take a look at the other pieces of evidence that we've gathered. That is thick, goddamn. This piece of glass is almost as thick as it is wide. Yes. I've never seen anything like it. If you were to compare it to a human, only Mr. Sholmes has such thick skin. Rinosuke! And Weeping, thank you so much for the water ASMR. Everyone, let's grab our little water jugs and do a little glug glug. And thank you so much for the stretch. Just need to do it like... Oh, wait. Rinosuke wild. He do be wilding though. He do be wilding. There's really no need for such a comparison, Mr. Naruhodo, as you well know. Anyway, it can only be from the Crystal Tower, surely. Yes, I think so too. It was probably made especially to meet the demands of that great structure. But yeah, I hope you're having a good day so far, Weeping. Let's take a look at the camera. Ooh, ooh, ooh! There's blood. Interesting. Sleep deprived, but okay. I'm not sleep deprived at all, but I'm doing good. We're doing some Ace Attorney right now, but I hope you get some coffee or tea or whatever your preferred beverage or caffeine of choice is. What a wonderful machine that has blood on it. You really love contraptions like this, don't you? Oh yes. Anything mechanical I find absolutely irresistible. Aw. Almost irresistible, surely. Well, whenever I see a pocket watch, for example, I can't help myself. I simply have to take it apart. Ooh. I like how they don't look at the blow when it's obvious. I know, right? That's worrying. Yes, 5-year tested time by the rumblings of his stomach now. He's giving up half. Susano! Susano! Oh my god. Ma'am, you are a menace. You are a menace. Ma'am. Poor Professor Mikotoba. So, let's take a look at the blood. Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Blood. She's matching the wildness, truly. What is it? I wonder, Renosuke, what is it? What could it possibly be? Is it blood? On the bells just here, there seems to be very dark red stains. Yes, you're right. It looks like blood, actually. So, this was actually Enoch Drebber's camera that he just willingly gave to the museum? Huh. Oh my. I'm sure it's not what you're thinking. The details of the camera have been updated in the court record. Interesting. Okay. Let's take a look at the back. Oh look, the cover came open. Yes. Now, there should be a glass plate inside. You have to change the plate with each new photograph you want to take, you see. Dots. Is something wrong? There's no plate. It's been removed. Ah. So even if this was actually his camera, he's not that dumb to not have the plate on. Okay. Oh, what a pity. But I suppose if you think about it, this wouldn't be the actual camera that was used at the time. Just like the waxwork isn't the actual person, but then what is happening with the blood then? So we'd never have found a photographic print of the executed convict coming back to life anyway. Oh, yes, you're quite right, of course. Poor Susato-san. She looks devastated. But what does the blood mean? Or rather, whose blood does it belong to? It can't be Enoch Drebber's, right? Anyways. What on earth? How can... I don't believe it. A black monocle! Mr. Naruhodo, is it possible that this man is... Yes. It's him. It's Enoch Drebber! The color of his hair is different, but... it's unmistakably him! Look at him. Indeed it is. Mr. Sholmes? It is you! Mr. Sholmes! This man is the subject of your present hunt, I believe. Yes, that's right. Just who is this man? Why is he here in this exhibit? And why does the convict behind him have no head? The head was missing when the model was returned by the thief who stole it. What a surprise. So then the case isn't yet solved, is it? Did I not say so myself? Largely solved with my words, I believe. But I must locate the missing head. To the suit. To the suit? To the suite, as Madame would say, or I'll be in grave trouble. Haha, grave trouble. Hehe. A very hungry Iris still awaits my return to Baker Street. Preferably with rations. Jones! No, she's so hungry. She's so hungry. Jones! Jones! Ah! Do you know, though? Something about this room is strange. You don't say. Like, where is the mist coming from? Strange. What do you mean? Well, the displays in the House of Horrors are supposed to depict real events, are they not? Indeed they are, Mr. Sato. Do go on. And as terrifying as they are, the scenes in the other exhibits are believable, but a body coming back to life isn't. Like, to be fair, we've seen that with Shamspear. We thought he was dead and the guy just came back to life. But this one, this surely couldn't ever really have happened, could it? What if he was buried alive? Dots. I think it's time I educated you a little about the nature of the incidents involving the professor 10 years ago. Ooh, serious Sholmes. Okay, good sir. The resurrecting convict, please tell us. I believe I told you a little about the professor yesterday, did I not? He took the lives of 5 victims, everyone being either a member of the aristocracy or royalty. He did, and that was a scandal because he was targeting nobles. All were attacked by an enormous hunting hound and had their throats ripped from their bodies, which is why you were so shook when we saw the collar. Because that collar belonged to the hunting hound. The Hound of Baskerville, mayhaps, right? Oh gosh, an enormous hound. How awful, Susato! After taking the life of his 5th victim, the killer was apprehended. It was a case of unprecedented magnitude in Britain, you understand. Accordingly, the professor was tried in a closed court. No members of the public were permitted. Huh. Interesting. Oh, then was Enoch Drebber, like, digging up the body to take a photo of the professor so people would know who he was? A closed court. So you mean that the professor's identity? As you've surmised, my dear fellow, his identity was never made public. Naturally, he was found guilty and was summarily sentenced to death by hanging. He was buried in a grave at Lowgate Cemetery, which adjoins the rear of the prison where he had been held. However, that was not the end of the affair. Oh! The very night that he was buried, the convicted man came back to life. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, something's happening, so... came back to life. He clawed his way out of the ground and emerged into the moonlit graveyard. The exhibit here depicts that very scene, as described by the sole witness to those chilling events. There was a witness. It was Enoch Drebber, wasn't it? But of course, my dear fellow, it was none other than the young man in a white overcoat. Enoch Drebber. He saw it happen. Okay, the young witness. Let's talk about him. So this is a waxwork model of Enoch Drebber when he didn't have white hair. 10 years ago, the convicted professor having been gibbeted? Having been gibbeted? Having been gibbeted and buried, emerged from his grave in the dead of night. The sole witness to that unimaginable scene was this young man. From appearances, I would say he was about 20 years old. So, he's only 30? Wait, hang on. He's only 35 and white hair. But he had white hair from the photo 10 years ago. So like, what, was he so shocked from seeing the dead body that he developed like Marie Antoinette syndrome? Like he was so stressed that his hair turned white? Maybe? It's so horrifying. Scared out of his wits, the young Drebber ran to a nearby police station to report the incident. In the sheer terror of what he had seen, is said to have turned his hair white overnight. Okay, so it is Marie Antoinette syndrome. Gotcha. Yes. As shown in the photograph we have of him, his hair is completely white. For the following few days, the story of what he'd seen was on every front page in the capital. The public was frantic for every last detail about the killer who'd come back to life. As you've seen, an exhibit was even created here at Madame Dispel's. I can quite understand why the man's hair turned white, certainly. But what I don't understand is what Mr. Drebber was doing in the first place. He was a grave robber, Sasato, probably. In a lonely graveyard, in the middle of the night. Yes, what was he up to? Dots. Following the execution. The professor's acts of terror threw London's upper classes into complete panic 10 years ago. It was a great scandal, one might say, at the very highest levels of society. And since the killer's identity was never made public, rumors abounded. After all, no killer had ever before systematically employed a dog as a weapon of murder. So, who could have trained a dog to do that? Yes, I can imagine the impact the case must have had. But in time, of course, the rumors abated. So too did talk of the shocking witness account of the convict who came back to life. It was forgotten, dismissed as a dubious ghost story, as a preposterous parlor tale. But why did people stop believing it? Is it because the witness's reason for being there was suspect? Why? Simply because there was no resurrection to speak of, as was established in fact. What do you mean by no resurrection? Did they go back to the grave and see the body again, or what? The police investigated the grave in Lowgate Cemetery and published their findings. The convict's body was found to be buried exactly where it had been following the execution. No! But that would mean Mr. Drebber must have lied to the police and the newspapers. That would appear to be the only logical explanation, yes. The young man subsequently vanished from society and nothing has been heard of him since. It's rather striking then, that he should resurface now, don't you think? Of course the convicted murderer couldn't really have come back to life. That's not possible, but what if he was not dead originally, right? What if he did come back to life? But Drebber's hair is unusually white. If that really did happen overnight as a result of shock, it's hard to believe that incident was an out-and-out lie. Oh, Gina, what the bleeding Nora there? What have you gone and done? Gina, no, Gina, no. We didn't do anything. I swear, we had nothing to do with this. We found him like this. We found him lopsided, with no head to speak of. Gina, what are you doing here? Oh, go. Oh, no, Gina. No. No. Gina. Inspector Lestrade, please. No, put the gun down. Please. Please. Oh my gosh. I asked Iris, and she said this is what y'all be, so... Gina! Not so loud in the museum. Madame Tispels would have you take a position as a waxwork if you're not careful. I think there might be a more pressing concern. I still had some flash powder left from 6 months ago, so... Alright, Gina, we understand. But please, put down the gun. My god, Inspector. Sorry, I got scared. Honestly valid, because she was in a room with a dead body for a while, among other things. I know, so did see, like, someone get killed in front of her. Twice. Among other things. You should try being the one on the other end of the barrel. So, what brings you here, Gina? What brings me here? What'd you think? We found it! We found that Doji Cove's workshop. What? You found Drebber's workshop? Yep. Toby's news took me straight there. The boss and the others are heading over there right now in a drag. So come on. Here's the address. I got the boss to write it out. Oh, hey, thanks, Gregson. Oh, thank you, Gina. We'll make our way there at once. Oh, the salute! Oh, I love that. All right, then. See you there. Jones? No, Mr. Sholmes, no. Oh, God. You go. Don't mind me. I'll just stay here, being still. What? Because he's on the clock, Rinosuke. I know my place. In the exhibit over here. His eyes are gone. His eyes are fucking gone. You dramatic bitch. Oh my god. Oh dear. Someone is feeling sorry for himself. Dots. Let's go, Mr. Sholmes. You're coming. Your words heartened me, I must say. But if I were to shirk my duties here, Madam would have me pay monetary recompense, and Iris's dinner plate would be empty once. Forget that! I'll pay for everything! Dots. Then that's not a moment to lose, my dear fellow! Ryunosuke, please! Oh god. I shall hail a carriage at once. No offer to share the cost for Mr. Sholmes, then. I shall gladly pay half, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, Sasato! Thank you, Mrs. Sato. Alright, let's go. Oh, God. Oh, that's a... That looks like a wooden... Well, wood and metal, like, laser thingamabobber. And a plane, look at that. Ooh, wait. Arrows or maybe crossbow bolts? Yeah, like crossbow bolts. And then a trophy. Interesting. Wait. Oh, wait. This is a... Maybe this is like a prototype of the contraption, perhaps? That looks like... Oh! It's another super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine. Yeah. Indeed, it would appear so. Though only a prototype, naturally. I was right. Ah, so you got here then. Gina! No, then for finding this place. And in such little time. You've really worked miracles. It's still be who's the miracle worker. Aw. Gregson! I thought your lot would show up before long. Hello, Inspector. That's one knitted brow. Why is your brow so furrowed, sir? It looks like he's eating a lemon, not a bag of fish and chips. But still, a squeeze of lemon of the fish and chips would be amazing right now. Man, I do want some good fish and chips. I keep saying this every time I play this game. Some good fish and chips, some good barbecue, some good steak, because I can't get that around here. Anyways. So, Inspector, is there any sign of the engineer? I would think no, right? Sadly not. We didn't find a soul in here. Oh, what a shame. Well, thank you for letting us know about this place, and giving us the chance to investigate. According to what Gina tells me, we only found it thanks to a clue that you lot turned up. I wouldn't want to say, go to Paris with a depth of gratitude unpaid now, would I? Oh right, he did say he was gonna go to Paris and gonna bring Gina with him. Yeah. Thank you. Anyway, if you're hoping to snoop around in here, I'd get cracking. Lord Von Zeeks and a forensic investigation team are on their way here as we speak. Them again. I imagine you've got the picture by now. They don't take too kindly to loyal types. Right. So then, my dear fellow, let's turn this place upside down whilst we have the chance. And you, Sholmes. Pardon? They take even less kindly to great detectives than they do to lawyers. Very droll, Gregson. Very droll. But you may consider me nothing more than an inconspicuous waxwork. Sholmes, that's not gonna work here. Right then, let's see what we can find in here. Let's examine. That looks like a conspicuous trophy. Ah, this appears to be most interesting. Yes, most interesting indeed, wouldn't you say? I need to examine it, good sir. It's an impressive looking back massager, that's for sure. That's a trophy, Renosuke. What? I've no doubt that if you hit your shoulders a few times with that, your aches and pains will soon go away. Dots. It's a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science. A young scientist could wish for no higher honor. Oh, wait, right. Didn't the Royal Society guy, juror, said that Enoch Drebber was a scientist, but he turned out to be a fraud? Ah. Would you like a massage? No, I'm fine, thank you. I had no idea it was such a grand thing. I think it's becoming increasingly clear that there's much more to this Mr. Enoch Drebber than conjuring tricks. I couldn't agree more, my dear madam. And how about you, Mr. Naruhodo? Would you like to take it with you? The trophy? Oh, your tight shoulders, of course. He's not gonna let that go, is he? It's curious though, isn't it? You would expect such an important trophy to be proudly on display somewhere. Not haphazardly cast aside, but he was disgraced, right? He was definitely disgraced, which is why he doesn't care for it. English gentlemen can be quite a mystery at times. The science trophy has been entered into the court record. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at it. There's a little metal plate here. Look. Fostering burgeoning talent for the future of scientific discovery. It seems rather ironic, doesn't it? But clearly Mr. Drebber really was a talented scientist. Yeah, it's ironic considering he's making fake science. Like, even though it's haphazardly placed, it still looks pristine. That's wild. Okay, let's take a look at these clearly crossbow bolts. This is... It's a European-style quiver of arrows with steel bolts inside. Oh, do you suppose? Crossbow bolts, these. And just the right size for the bow you lot turned up at the exhibition grounds. In other words. Yep. That's more evidence to support your theory. Thank you. Now it goes to show that Drebber was the one pulling the strings from behind the scenes of the whole scam. The details of the crossbow have been updated in the court record. Lovely. What's there? This door doesn't want to open. Well, clearly. Yeah, looks like it's got a pretty hefty lock on it. Like if even Gina can't do it, oh, I guess Gregson is not letting her do it. It's a specialist locksmith on his way over from the yard, so hands off till it gets here. With permission, Inspector, I could have that lock open in less than a minute. Is that a skill Sholmes has? Oh, you don't have permission, and no one's giving it to you. Gregson looked as though he really enjoyed that. Oh my god, the look in his eyes. Well, there's no sound of anybody on the other side. No, Drebber must have fled at the first sign of danger. Anything here? That's a steam car? Holy shit, okay. Let's take a look at this wait, we can look up. I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo. The machine is covered by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. There will be serious repercussions if you were to examine it, from the Crown and the government. Look at them looking at it. Dots. Dots. Well, those two don't seem to be holding back. It's quite hollow inside. No working parts or devices of deception to be seen, my dear fellow. No loose change dropped on the floor or nothing. Not even a bone for Toby here, my dear fellow. Oh my god, Gina. Damn, there needs to be a Gina plush. She doesn't have one, but she needs one. She really needs one. British people are very much ruled by their own ideals, aren't they? I think that's just these two, Mr. Sato. Oh, what the fuck? A thud. Oh, yeah, that did not sound natural. What the hell? Is something wrong, Mrs. Sato? Did you not hear that, Rinosuke? What? Well, I thought I heard a noise from the far side of that door. Well, Gina? Did you hear it too? Yeah, I heard it and all. What'd you reckon, Toby? There's someone behind there, isn't there? Right, mind the grace! You're just gonna... Okay. Whoever's in there, open up! This is Scotland Yard! Dots. And that's someone running away. That is someone running away. Oh my. Someone is in there! This rotten bleeding lock. Sholmes, I choose you, go! My dear Gregson, as I only said minutes ago, if only it were consonants, I could unlock that door in less than a minute. Dots. Fine, I'll take the rap for it. Just get us through that blasted door. Oh shit. Immediately. That. You may enter at will. You've confused minutes with seconds, I think. God. Time is of the essence, I feel. What are we waiting for? Nothing for it, I suppose. This is an emergency. There's a strong possibility that beyond that door is the engineer you all seek. So be prepared for action, my dear fellow. Yes. Let's go. We didn't fully explore the place, but that's a bomb. Oh shit. What's happening here? Did he escape through here? How? What? It almost looks as if everything was turned upside down. Right? This is bolted down. This... Yeah, it almost looks like everything was literally thrown upside down. What the heck? Why is everything upside down, right? Rats. Ain't no one in here after all. Which means, like, this place has a mechanic? Like, it can actually turn the other way? But there must be. It was only moments ago that we heard those noises. Maybe that was the sound of Drebber running away. But there's only one door into this room. And no windows that could afford an escape route. The skylights are too high. But the footprints. What's that up there? Are they footprints on the ceiling? Oh my god, Gregson. Well, I'll be having fun voicing this. Ah, blow me. What do we have here then? Is everyone just ignoring that dynamite there? Looks like someone is trying to burn something in a hurry. Oh, that looks like a set of blueprints. To what? To the Professor Hairbrain's bombing machine, is it? Blimey! If we had these, there'd be no need to muck about trying to investigate all that scrap metal. There's something of great interest here, too. This rope was lying on the floor at the foot of that pillar. A rope? What's significant about it? Never mind. You see, but you do not observe, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, sir? We must investigate the entire room thoroughly, and before the forensic investigation team arrive, too. So, Sholmes is screwing. He's just staring at the bomb. Okay, so he is screwing with us, right? Like, cause he notices something about it, but he's not willing to tell us. He wants us to look for ourselves. Also, what is this hot air balloon doing in here? That's a really lovely model. It looks just like a real flying balloon. I think it's probably staying aloft on the same principle as a full-size balloon, using gas. A green flying balloon. It does have the hallmarks of that amazing deception at the Great Exhibition, doesn't it? Could it be that the whole thing was planned here in this very workshop? The footprints, though. There's no denying it, is there? Your footprints. Yes, it would appear so. And I simply can't imagine how they came to be there. Isn't there a Susato shoot-up or something? Like a Susato takedown, I mean. What? You think she can like double jump or something, Rinosuke? What? I'm no Wonder Woman, Mr. Naruhodo. That would make her almost superhuman, I suppose. I mean, she kinda is, isn't she? Almost every piece of furniture is upside down. Even Mr. Sholmes' suite isn't ever in this much of a mess. You're in no position to comment on mess, Mr. Naruhodo. But I suppose it's not quite the same thing, is it? Oh my gosh. I mean, it's not messy in here per se. It's that everything is literally upside down. But why? I'm gonna take a look at that bomb in a bit. But this is the only thing that's like clearly bolted down, right? That's a very large safe. I don't suppose even Mr. Sholmes could open that lock. Although, if you were a thief, you could just steal the entire thing, I suppose. That would be very heavy. It's bolted to the floor to prevent exactly that sort of underhand trick, Mr. Naruhodo. Well then, you could just steal the floor as well, I suppose. Runo! Runo, no! I'm sorry, but you really aren't making any sense at all. Anyway, I think we can agree that whatever is inside must be very important. We see, but we do not observe. What do you mean, Sholmes? Did he pull the rope and everything went topsy-turvy, or what? Okay, we should address the, you know, the big elephant in the room, being the thing of dynamite right here. Mr. Sholmes, have you found something? Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, in point of fact, something rather fascinating. What do you make of this? That's a bomb. Let's see. I've never seen anything like it before. It looks like a bundle of thick cigars wrapped up in a large watch to me, but Mrs. Sato! What's the matter? That's a... Surely that's a time bomb, isn't it? What? Did you say... time bomb? I feel like Gina doesn't know what that is. Sorry, but... What is a time bomb exactly? Oh no! Oh no! Rinosuke! You truly are one of a kind, Mr. Naruhodo. I won't take that as a compliment. Ha! You don't know nothing, do you, Odo? You haven't got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? I invite you to consult a dictionary later, Mr. Naruhodo. I mean, he is an English major. Has he never, like, encountered bomb before? But this particular specimen is no time bomb, though I confess it has a very similar appearance. Oh, well, thank goodness. But then, what is it? If it's not a time bomb, is it just a... If it's not a time bomb, is it a ticking time bomb? Not. I see. So that's it. I knew he's screwing with us, right? Because, like, he's making the connections, right? He clearly does have amazing skills of deduction, but he always screws with us. Why? Why are you screwing with us, Sholmes? Goodness, Mr. Sholmes, have you seen to the heart of the matter? There are times when I consider my lot most unfair. But I'm fated never to know how it feels to flounder as you do when a puzzle presents itself. But I've learned to accept the hardships that come with being a great detective, Mr. Sato. I see. Here we go. I feel a great deduction coming. Oh? Is it gonna be a legit one, or is he gonna screw with us again? Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene we see before us. The first is that the inverted nature of the furniture in this room is the work of Drebber himself. Oh, but how could you... And the second conclusion is that the small device on the floor there is without question completely genuine, so it's actually a time bomb? Is it ticking down? Do we have enough time to disarm it? Please, Mr. Sholmes, You must explain everything. It would be a pleasure. After all, it is a great detective's civic duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade. Oh my god! He's pouting so much, oh god! Well, Inspector Gregson seems delighted with the idea, anyway. Oh, you deflected Inspector's glare with such fortitude there, Mr. Sholmes. Well done. You're too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you. Kindly stand just there, Mrs. Sato. Oh, yes. I'd be delighted. So, shall we begin? Once again, Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Let's go. The game is afoot. Let's go. Flipped furniture. It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table and chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every item in the room had until recently been happily positioned on the ceiling, before falling straight onto the floor. Oh? Every item in the room was on the ceiling. Are you suggesting that? Indeed, the key here. Wait, the safe combination is right there. Is gravity. What the fuck? Oh my god. The animation? What the hell? I love this. Oh shit, he's walking! Oh fuck! Oh my god. That is, why is this so hype? Why is this one so hype? What the hell? I know we have to course correct this, but holy shit, it is so hype. Him just walking as everything like ascends. Oh my god, that is so awesome. It would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the earth. But the gravity in his room was reversed, and then suddenly restored to normality. Goodness! The inverted furniture clearly reveals the whole truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. I quite understand your skepticism, Mr. Sato. I too was oh my god, my throat was incredulous at first. However, my conviction, my analysis was cemented when I observed this. But that's a bomb, right? An anti-gravity device, almost identical to the one that featured in a dream of mine only the other day, in fact. But then, why does it have a clock on it? Most relevant question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. That was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically. And the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that restoration occurred. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. So you see, we need look no further to explain the state in which we now find this room. The direction in which gravity here acts in here was reversed by Mr. Drebber, before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion sometime later by the time this device. You're screwing with us, man. Please, please, sir. I witnessed precisely the scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed. Good sir. Because gravity was reversed. Lovely. Missing engineer. Okay. Now, let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer's friend's aim? Indubitably, The greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads. Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there in the ceiling? A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. I wonder what is nearby the skylight that's allowing this to happen. Of course, Drebber's aim was singular, to escape. However, there's but one way into this room, excepting the skylight, that is. Oh my god. By inverting the gravity in here, Drebber was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way. But the ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Sholmes. If the gravity reversal was sudden, wouldn't Mr. Drebber have fallen up to the ceiling rather violently? Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. But the man was cornered with nowhere to run, so escape through the skylight was his only option. You may recall that I found this in a room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. The rope. Oh, the rope. To reach the intended destination, what better to than this rope? By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Which explains how Drebber... There is something hidden behind here, isn't there? Yeah. Which explains how Drebber was able to escape this room before our arrival. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun. Escape by the skylight. Interesting. Thus concludes Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. What if he's hiding in the safe? Hence why there is, like, you know, the combination there. Okay, before we continue and we course correct this, I'm gonna take a very quick break. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. We'll be right back. I need to see that animation of him walking when everything's, like, falling backwards into gravity again. That is so awesome. That is unreasonably cool and unreasonably awesome, and it's amazing. I'll be back. I'll be right back. Give me a second. And I'm back. Okay. Okay. Gregson is so fucking stunned. Thoughts. Gina's not even listening. Dots. Dots. She's completely spellbound. Mr. Sholmes, there's just one thing that troubles me. I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life. God damn, Sholmes. The thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean. I would say that with man's current scientific knowledge, at the turn of the 20th century, it's no more possible than instantaneous kinesis. So you're just fucking with us. You were just fucking with us, right? Dots. But your whole deduction hinges on it. Ah, but my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth, however improbable it may seem. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of my more enduring pearls of wisdom. That line came from Iris, though. I had Iris come up with the exact phrasing. My original was clumsy. Yes. I have a feeling I've read it in something that Mr. Sato lent me once. Objection! Actually, there is one other thing, Mr. Sholmes. That's clearly a fucking ticking time bomb, isn't it? Ah, the spell's broken at last. The rope you found was on the floor, wasn't it? Indeed it was. In lonely coils near the wall. But if Mr. Drebber used it to escape in the way you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall? Dots. Mysteries inevitably unravel in the end, as I think you'll find. Do ropes. And as evidence of such, you need only look at the mystery we faced in this room, now skillfully unraveled. That argument is as circular as the coils of rope. I think perhaps we need to give Mr. Sholmes the usual little helping hand. I think he is clearly just teaching us, right? He's clearly training us. I'm sure some minor corrections. The great detective's great deduction will lead us to the truth. Yes, you're right. And he must do it quickly, before Enoch Drebber gets too far away. If you're ready, then let us resume. Sherlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Course correction. Hold it, Mrs. Sholmes. God, let's go. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. It's so hype. It's so hype. Look at him just walking through that shit. What the fuck? Why is it so cool? Why is it so fucking cool? I swear to God. But it's not the furniture itself, right? It's something else. Do you think gravity could have been reversed in this very room? I find the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive of such an explanation. But the man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so... Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea at once. Ooh, that's unusually merciless of you, Mr. Sato. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective himself said so, didn't he? While refusing to part of his dreams of anti-gravity devices. Yes, I suppose so. Well, let's see if examining this topsy-turvy scene a little more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing. Let's take a look at this. All the furniture in here is very conspicuously upside down, certainly. Yes, it does immediately put you in mind of some strange quirk of gravity, I admit. Oh, could it be that a mini whirlwind passed through here, do you think? A mini whirlwind? Here? In this geographical location? Inside this guy's bedroom? Are you sure, Susato? I'm not sure that's much more plausible than Mr. Sholmes' explanation. Oh dear. I think the first thing that comes into your head isn't a way forward here, it seems. What about the, you know, the upright, furniture? Well. I wasn't expecting to find a pretty bunch of flowers in here, that's for sure, and it's just conspicuously not upside down. Ah, look at that! I know. A slender little vase looks like it's about to topple at any moment, but the flowers are No, Ryunosuke, no! Someone makes you think of the fragility of life, wouldn't you say? No! No! Runo, no! Runo! 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 Oh my god, sir. Dots. To be honest, Mr. Naruhodo, something else about it made a rather deeper impression on me. Can we look at the safe? Ah, look, Mrs. Sato. When everything seems to be upside down in here, the safe is conspicuously the right way up. Have you noticed? Yes, that's true, but it's bolted down. Look more closely at the safe's feet. Ah, with a lot of large bolts fixing it to the floor. Dots. Think before you speak. That's what you wanted to say, isn't it? I really put my foot in my mouth there. I certainly didn't say that. So it has to be this, right? Because even if gravity did invert, right, this would still be here. So it has to be this.
Take that!
There we go. Because gravity played no part. The upright vase clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head. Trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps? Oh? No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Sholmes. Trust me. As you rightly say, though it appears at first glance that all the furniture in the room is upside down, this unassuming slender vase is standing keenly to attention. And unlike the large safe there's nothing affixing it to the floor. And it's the exception that breaks the rule, because that means gravity was not altered. I assume it's just like the room was rotated. In short, much as it pains me, the gravity in this room was never inverted at all. Oh god. My deepest sympathies for your loss. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. Susato, don't cry for him. He's just acting out. But the show must go on. So, let us continue with our deductions. Now that we know that this contrivance is not in fact an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility. You don't say. Someone deliberately turned every other piece of furniture in here. which might sound obvious but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? To make... If the room wasn't rotated, then it's just made to seem like he escaped through the window because he's clearly still in the room, right? Quite. And naturally that is an explanation. Yes. The reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because... no. He's absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he? I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong. Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all this furniture over. So whoever it was must have had a reason. I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though. Well, let's look around and see if the answer presents itself. Like, this is clearly a bomb, right? We've already established that gravity isn't actually reversed in here, haven't we? In other words, this isn't an anti-gravity device at all. Which makes me very curious to know what sort of device it is. But I think for now it's clear that we're looking for an answer elsewhere. Let's look at a heater. That's a coal burning heater, I think, isn't it? Yes, it is. But it's not just for heating, you know, it's for cooking. You can grill in it, bake in it, boil and steam things with it. It serves all sorts of purposes. That seems like having your cake and eating it too. Not unlike a heated kotatsu table with a nabe hot pot, a mikan orange, a cat, and an elderly relative. What the fuck? That is very specific, Naruto. That is very specific news, okay? Oh, you mean it seems too much? I suppose perhaps it does. But you really realize only some of those things on your list are edible, don't you? He's hiding in a safe, isn't he? Look, there's something written on the underside of this armchair. Oh yes, safe 432582. Safe, as in safe and secure? No, safe as in the actual safe there. As in secure lockable box, I think. Admittedly, more likely. Well, there is a large safe bolted to the floor on the other side of the room, so yes. So you mean this number would let us open it? I wonder why it's written here, though. Oh, the reason why everything's been turned upside down is because they were trying to find this. Yeah, okay. I do like the fact that we could see the combination, though. Yes. The reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. Precisely. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that you have a very similar experience once, did you not? Yes, last year. When I bought a lottery ticket and noted the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book just in case. That's it! For people are forgetful souls at heart, and always make a written note of important information. Just keeping the ticket itself safe would be more sensible, I think. And what, pray, happened next, Mr. Naruhodo? When the day of the draw came around, I'd forgotten which book I'd written a number in, and had to turn my room upside down to find it. That's it! For people are forgetful souls at heart, and always forget where they've noted things down. Not if you always note things in the same place. I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember. Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo, but I believe I've proved my point now. My god. Which is that a very similar scenario has clearly unfolded in this room. Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination lock code. He remembered that he written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one, leading to the state in which we now find the room. Yes, Mr. Drebber overturned all the furniture in here. in a desperate hurry to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe. Like, honestly, it makes a lot of sense. I was caught up with the room being able to rotate, but also given the way the stove is, it doesn't make sense. Cause like the piping and everything. Find the safe combination. Ooh. Ooh. He's still in the room, isn't he? Now, let us consider the next conundrum, because we heard a heavy thing open and a heavy thing close. And it sounds like a metal door. What is the safe made out of? And aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain is actions above our heads. Yep. Yes. How is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there in the ceiling? The question whose answers will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Nope. Well, if a change in the direction of gravity can explain it, then how did those footprints get there? Yes. I feel as though that particular mystery has just become even harder to solve. The rope, he was hanging on something and just put his feet there? I can't think of any other way to explain it at all. Ooh, life was so much simpler in those halcyon days when gravity could be reversed. Oh my god, Susato. Oh my god. It was minutes ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place. Well, I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Sholmes and observe the area in more detail. Putting our faith in Mr. Sholmes is what gets us into these situations in the first place. There's a shoe. Oh, hello there. Balloon. This is a gas balloon, isn't it? It's tiny, but it does seem to be a real balloon. Yes, I think you're right. I think it's helium that's keeping it up. It is. A green gas balloon. Why does that seem to ring a bell with me? You can see, there are footprints on this balloon too. Look. Oh yes. Surely that's a clue, isn't it? Though what it tells us, I'm not sure. There's a shoe. It's hard to believe, but there's a shoe up here. Look. Oh yes. And there are more footprints on this little balloon too. Perhaps the shoe was thrown up there and became lodged, do you think? If so, then judging from the number of footprints, it must have been thrown up several times. Why would anyone be throwing shoes up at the ceiling though? Oh dear. That's beyond me, I'm afraid. Well... because of the shoe!
Take that!
It was tossed up there for some reason. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. And on close inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never the skylight at all, but the balloon. But for what purpose? Was it target practice? Was he trying to like aim at the balloon? A green balloon. That seems somewhat familiar data. It was a piece of a green balloon's envelope that Mr. Naruhodo and Iris found at the scene. And inside the green balloon that Mr. Goats claims he saw above, that Master Gots claims he saw above the stage when the incident occurred, was the second birdcage, the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception. You mean to say... If we assume the balloon in here is a model of the one used on the day, there's a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it. Something Al Absconda was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. But a balloon's out of reach. Hence why he resorted to a projectile, namely the shoe. Most probably, Drebber intended to tear a hole in the envelope by sealing it with the shoe. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights. Oh dear. we desperately need to examine that balloon. If only there was some way we could see inside. You may recall that I found this in a room earlier, which I believe offers the solution. We can pull it down, right? Oh, the rope! To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? Mr. Shrooms has managed to bring the deduction back to the rope! Alright, I have to admit, that was clever. Did we just throw the rope up to the balloon and then pull it down to us on the ground? Which is much easier said than done, I feel. It could take us a very long time as well. We could toss a knife. We could toss a crossbow bolt, maybe? True. Perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we? A crossbow. Take that! I want Renosuke to like just actually fire an arrow, right? Like he's wearing an archer's glove right here. I need him with a Yubi bow or something, please. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow? That was found at the scene, in fact, and in all likelihood belongs to Mr. Drebber. If the man had only brought it away with him that day, he could have avoided losing a shoe at such a critical time as this. But we would have lost our case, right? Alright, let's do it. So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. What is it that Enoch Drebber has hidden inside that balloon? Bam. Oh, damn. The head! Ah! What the? It is the head of the professor. Let's go. Oh shit. A waxwork. Indeed it is. A waxwork head inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock. So we can't see the face inside, that means. Just a moment, this is the head of the waxwork model. Does that mean, oh goodness. I see you joined the dots, Mrs. Sato. Excellent. Of course, a headless waxwork model. The case of the abducted Madame Dispel's model that you've largely solved. It was only the head of the killer that was still missing. Indeed it was. But I believe Madame Dispel's will now have to settle a sizable account with me. This, as you have now surmised, is the head of the infamous professor. Yes. But why is it here? This conclusively confirms my suspicions. Okay, so I guess like the head is not at the Crystal Tower, but we found the glass with the waxwork model, right? We did it. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Dispel's and returning it, Sunsete, earlier today, was none other than Enoch Drebber. Oh, hello, Raiders. Eri, hello! My gosh, let me give you a little shouty shout out. Hang on. But hello, Raiders. My name is Rita Toya. You can call me Toya. I am a snow alien and also the leader of the Snow Patrol, where we go around looking for not so chill vibes and make them chill again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, how are you doing? How was Persona 3 Reload? Eri, you just missed out on a super hype, super hype Shomes deduction. Like I swear to God, it was taking inspiration from like Sherlock or something. It was so cool. It was so cool. But yeah, if you need, please do your after stream care. Eri, if you need to get some water, if you need to stretch your legs, you need to stretch your back, you need to crack your bones, please do. Raiders, if you need to do your own after stream care as well, get some food, get some water, please do. But yeah, we're doing some more Great Ace Attorney Chronicles right now, and we're trying to get to the bottom of what exactly is happening, because Shomes is kind of caught up on this being an anti-gravity type of situation, but I have a strong suspicion that Enoch Drebber is actually in this room, in the lock, the safe here, and also the fact that this this time bomb is actually real, and he was just lying to us. Anyways, Professor Herbrand's case and a waxwork abduction are connected. They're inextricably linked by Enoch Drebber's workshop. The waxwork head has been entered into the court record. Let's go. Well, it appears our logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. All that remains is, yes, speak with the architect of this adventure. The architect? Oh, yo, the music's different. You mean, Mr. Drebber, he hasn't left the room. He is still inside. As it seems quite impossible that he escaped via one of the skylights. Obviously, the man must still be here, in the room. What? And his location should be abundantly clear. If you simply reflect on the journey we've made together during this deduction. Enoch Drebber's right here, somewhere in this room. So, Mr. Naruhodo, will you do the honors? Yes, of course. He's in a safe. Mr. Drebber's hiding place must be the... Take that! Look at all that mess in front of the safe. Yes, plans and accounting ledgers. I must have someone was in a hurry to empty the contents of the safe, in fact. Take that! Let's go! Before we gain access to this back room, we heard noises in here. Like a heavy door opening and closing. Which tells us that the engineer was still in the building at that point in time. He was in fact searching for the combination to a safe. And pressed for time, made no attempt to right the furniture that he overturned in the process. And from which we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber is, at this very moment, inside the safe. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. Let's go, let's open it up. Let's do it. Inside the safe, let's go. Solved. Let's go. Deduction complete. Elementary. Let's go. So, Mr. Naruhodo, I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide and seek, don't you? By opening the safe, you mean? What else? Let's see. Combination was 1 432 582. Oh, there we go. I knew that. All right then. Here goes. Oh my god, his fit is such a mood. Look at his glove. What the hell? Let my Leonard friend cook. Yes. You found me. Shout out to Ace Attorney Goffs. Oh my god, it's like he's coming out like clockwork. What the fuck? Bro. Is he breakdancing out of there? I love his glove. I need that glove. Yo, that stretching routine. I need that glove. I need that steampunk glove. Oh my god. Look at him. Oh, yo. Oh my god, the music too. The music too was like clockwork. Holy shit. Weeping, thank you so much for the water ASMR. Everyone, let's grab our little water jugs and do a little glug glug. And thank you so much for the stretch. Ooh, okay. Right then, sir. Mr. Enoch Drebber, I presume. Correct. Oh my god, his glove. I love that. You better start talking. You tricked Professor Harebrune with that bogus machine you built. And you should have to explain the death of the waxwork from Madame Spells as well. Whilst I will be delighted to answer your many questions. Personally, I would advise you deactivate my little parcel first. It was active, you son of a bitch, Sholmes. Deactivate? Your parcel? Refer, of course, to the time bomb. I left it in a most prominent position. So we were doing all that. Like, did he look at the time bomb and was like, yeah, I got enough time to fuck around, and then did all of that? Pray forgive the discourtesy, but I do need to look for a bit. Okay, Ari, enjoy your lyric. Ah! Ha. I see. Stunned silence. You're all going up to die with me then. I feel like I feel like I'm giving him too much of a sexy voice, and I almost feel like this should be given to Von Zieks, but also like the smile and everything and the gearing up. I love that. But also I need the snarkiness for Von Zieks, you know? No! Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes! With only 7 seconds to spare. 7 seconds?! That was too close for comfort. I've got 1 foot in the grave already. You did. Oh, he deactivated it. Okay. Are you trying to get us a kill or get us killed? Mr. Sholmes' deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they? Oh, my dear fellows, that was a close shave. The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say. Were you just fucking around, Sholmes? Anti-gravity devices don't exist. Phew. I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. God, look at him. What happened here? What on earth happened in here? You found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Everything in here is precisely what it seems. Yeah, well, we'll be giving it a thorough going over. Don't you worry, Drebber. Dots. What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop. That I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt. Whistling? Whistling? Was it Sholmes? Ah, that would have been me. Oh! For some reason, I will confine Fettel today. No words, just tightly squeezed chips. Clearly, I must have a screw loose though, as I can remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it down. We also found a rope over by the wall. Yes, I'd hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly, the rope was too short. So, I then set about searching for the combination code to open the safe. So, Sholmes was kinda correct in that sense. And burning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters. Dots. And after that, you hid yourself inside the safe, having set this parcel ticking. Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police. The time bomb. Were you expecting to die? Got a death wish, have ya? hiding right beside a ticking time bomb. Please. Why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? It's no ordinary safe. It's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't leave a scratch on it. Did you design the safe yourself? So in fact, the safe was the only safe place. It was the safest place, eh? Precisely. But once you climbed inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again. I invite you to look more closely. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within. Ah, so it was. I'd always intended to blow this place to smithers in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans. Do you mean to say you're planning to blow us all up? No. That was unforeseen. What do you mean? Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet. Ah, true. That is very true. I calculated the time required for retreat to a safe distance, and then set the device accordingly. But your seemingly endless discourse in here threw a spanner in the works. The utter look Gregson is giving Sholmes right now. Is something wrong, Gregson? There's something on my face besides the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. It's all Sholmes' fault. I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. But what about the two incidents you've evidently been involved in recently? Dots. Professor Harebraine's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition. And the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to. That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. I've been considering carrying it around as protection after all. That's enough! Sid? What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate you. Yes, well, Dr. Sith again. So the forensic investigation team are here. And you know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him? If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. Dots. You lot, leave at once. My dear madam, there's no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you. After all, that's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Sith? You two know each other. Hello, Sholmes. Oh my god. Yo, the history? Hello? The history? The history, right here. Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Sith? If it's protecting machine next door that's causing such a sour expression in your face, you are quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a shell. You get out! But of course, we'll show ourselves the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes. It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today. But Mr. Sholmes, let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands. I said get out! Now! All of you! Your presence here is not required either, Gregson. Dots. Understood. But I would just say one thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd never have found this place. And the whole workshop would have been blown to bits. There was a time bomb set in here that is lot disarmed. Inspector. Thoughts. Something giving you a chuckle, has it? Drebber? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, so sorry. Didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Yes, you did disarm that. What? You had another one? What are you? That one? You mean? Wait. Oh no! It's inside. No! Oh shit! Okay. It was an hour later that we heard the news. The enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage at the Great Exhibition. Professor Harebrain's invention and all its secrets were blown away forever. But what about the blueprints? To be continued. God. Oh, it's so hype. It is so hype. What on earth? Save current progress? Yes. Okay. I want to continue, but I kind of want to do like... Because, hang on. I want to change out the outfits. Anyways. 24th October, 9:11 a.m. The Old Bailey, Defendant's Antechamber. Good morning to you, Mr. Naruhodo. Good morning, Professor. Ready for today's proceedings? Thoughts? I hope so. I should be, even I with nothing left to... Good morning, my dear fellows. Oh, Mr. Shrubs, you're up early. You're here. Why, naturally. A true gentleman stands shoulder to shoulder with his friends in battle at all times. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'll see you later then. Now, Professor, we really need you to remain calm in the courtroom today. Wait, hang on. I'm gonna save here. What I want to do, I want to change out the outfits. Because we have the DLC outfits with, Susato and Rinosuke. Because I'm pretty sure these are the outfits that are made for the Great Exhibit, right? I'm pretty sure. Hang on, though. Wait. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna switch her for this case because it's like she made it. Like, look at that. She made it for them, right? So like, let's do it. Let's continue. I'm gonna see this happen. Look at that! That's so awesome. Oh my god, the goggles with like the sakura blossoms and stuff too. Look at this. It's so cool. Okay, now Professor, we really need you to remain calm in the courtroom today. Yes. Be sure your heart is not to enter the witness stand uninvited again. And the little plush right there. Yes, I will. I realize it was a mistake, but my dear fellows, I must interject. Oh, you're still here, Mr. Sholmes. What's the matter? Surely you've overlooked some praise, have you not? To be cast in my direction, That you're here early and on time and stuff? Sorry, I don't follow. Must I spell it out? I, the great Herlock Sholmes, the greatest detective, a worldwide acclamation. Heroes at some ungodly hour to be here now. First thing in the morning, a miracle, you must agree. At least you are very self-aware, Sholmes. At least you are very self-aware. Well, if I must agree, then... As you know, my sleep is quite impregnable. I always had to employ a full gamut of tactics. She pulled the covers off, shook me, poked both cheeks, punched me, and kicked me from the bed. Then she poured a boiling cup of her latest experimental blend in my face, and at last I was bested. Your face does not appear to be red to me. Oh my. Iris has been busy. Iris doesn't have it in her to go that far. She's too nice. Ah, I sense the spirit of a fellow scientist. One who relishes the infinite possibilities of blending tea. Well, she is a doctor. I'm the one worthy of praise here, not Iris. This is my victory. Okay, alright, sure. Sorry to cut in. Oh, Inspector Gregson, good morning. Oh god. Gregson, my dear fellow, why the grim expression at this delightfully early hour? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I've been confronted with a grimmer expression, Dear me. Are you going to take that insult lying down, Professor? What? I don't know! Poor Professor. Anyway, here's the paperwork you asked for. What paperwork? Ah, I took the liberty of requesting it yesterday. Oh, the results in the investigation? I have a feeling it may prove useful. You wouldn't believe the hoops I had to jump through to get this brought out of the archives. It's a professor's autopsy report. Oh. That mass murderers who killed 5 members of the aristocracy. He was found guilty in a closed trial 10 years ago now. It was all done under wraps. It was quickly executed soon after the trial. It's all in here. The killer's autopsy report has been entered. Okay, let's go take a look. I don't know what to say. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Inspector. Let's take... Wait, hang on. There's a keyhole here, though. This lock does look very strong, doesn't it? There's definitely no way you could remove the mask yourself if it was put on you. What a terrible way to treat someone, even a convicted criminal. I know. It's starting to make me livid, actually. Mr. Naruhodo, please. I mean, just think about it. Imagine if you had an itch on your cheek all of a sudden. You'd be utterly helpless. Ryunosuke, it was going so well. Dots. Well, yes, that's true. But I'm not sure that warrants quite so much anger. Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, we really can't see the face at all. Interesting. Condemned professor, redacted for confidentiality, pseudonym, the professor. Death by hang confirmed at midnight, 17th June. Courtney Stevens. We know a Courtney, but not a Stevens. Courtney Sif? Was she going by Stevens before? Interesting. Yes. Much obliged, Gregson. Us lowly lot at the yard are just doing what we can. In the shadow of the great detective Sholmes, of course. I see. He's a bit bitter about that, but anyways. Well then, Professor Harebrain, this is it. Today, we're gonna lay all this to rest at last. I wish you the best of luck, Professor. Dots. I suppose he'll be in there today, will he? Drebber. Yes. Expect the prosecution to summon him as a witness. I'm still amazed you managed to find him in just one day. I really owe you both so much. Counsel and the defendant, the trial is about to resume. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. Let's go. Let's freaking go. This is it then. The final chapter. Funny. My heart's racing a little. I've not felt this before, actually. A strange foreboding. As if something's going to happen in this trial that I'm not ready for. But I can't let that distract me from the only thing that really matters. Finding the truth. Let's go, Runosuke! October, 9:30 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. Look at us! Oh my god, we're so good. We're looking so good. And his assistant, who is clearly not Kazuma. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the public hearing of Albert Harebrain, here present, who stands accused of murder. Are the counsels for the prosecution and defense ready to proceed? The prosecution is ready, my lord. Dots. The defense is ready, my lord. He looks so good in this. It's so good. But he doesn't have his armband though, which is kind of weird. Oh! Oh my god, it's the he has the crosses like with the classic Yakuten Saiban like cross. Nice. As promised, Lord Von Zeeks has his apprentice with him. His apprentice with memory loss. Dots. Oh my god, look at them. If I may, Lord Von Zeeks. Yes, my lord. There appears to be someone standing at your side. Ah, yes. My apprentice, an assistant. The prosecution believes today's proceedings will see the complexity of this case rise considerably. Oh shit! He pulled that saber out! Oh my god. He's so good at that. I thereby instructed my assistant to attend to ensure the smooth running of the trial. And the smooth running of liquid refreshments by the look of it. The way he holds himself, the way he moves, it couldn't be anyone else. But he's still suffering from amnesia, so there's really nothing we can do at the moment. Also, I'm noticing because he doesn't have the armband but still retains the same animation, he's still like... He's moving an invisible armband, but you know, we can argue that it's just like force of habit. But honestly, like, it wouldn't take away to keep the armband here, you know? Like, it will still work. I know, but... Oh, this is so very hard. It would appear the prosecution has done a fine job in responding to the demands of the court made yesterday. I understand you have successfully secured the engineer who disappeared from the scene on the day in question. Yes, my lord. Oh god, what the heck? Yes, my lord. I intend to call him as a witness shortly. Very good, very good. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, who have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this courtroom today, are you ready and willing to proceed? Of course, my lord. I'm sure we all understand the importance of doing our civic duty. I do so despise deception and deceit. I find it so very wearing. To take a man's life with a conjuring trick, it is against the magician's code, not to mention the law. Any fake scientist should feel the wrath of God, if you ask me. We have to listen to what's said on both sides of the fence, and then settle on one. That's it, isn't it? Wasn't like this in my day. Wasn't like this at all. Oh my neck. If all parties are ready to proceed, you may begin, Lord Von Zieks. Before I do, my lord, there is a report I must read to the court. Oh? Yesterday, at the Great Exhibition Grounds, the evidence of primary importance in this case. The super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine, which was installed at the experimentation stage, was deliberately destroyed in an explosion effected by an unknown person or persons. It was... what? An explosion! This is an outrage! Yes, I heard this grave news yesterday. Scotland Yard submitted a report to my office in the evening. I read that the machine was blasted to smithereens, and the wreckage reduced to ashes in the flames. I have here a photographic print of the scene, taken in the wake of the explosion. Oh, look at that! It opens up! I knew it! It was a trapdoor! It shows what little remains of the machine. Yes. A terrible business. He did it to destroy evidence, did he? That Enoch Drebber. The court will take this print as evidence, counsel. Post-explosion photograph has been entered into the court record. Okay. Late yesterday afternoon, protection afforded to the machine by the Special Dispensation of Scientific Equipment Act was revoked. However, before a thorough investigation could begin, the invention was obliterated from existence. As such, this would become a very different trial. As it stands now, with no evidence on which to draw meaningful conclusions, the authenticity of the kinesis machine will remain forever in obscurity. Indeed. Most unfortunate state of affairs. Oh, my throat, my gosh. However, one thing remains clear. The victim's death was a result of the actions of the accused. Of that we can be certain. But it was the accused himself who was operating the machine, and who ultimately caused its loss of control. Objection. As Lord Von Zieks rightly says, this is a very different trial now. The accused accepts responsibility for his part in the events that transpired. He acknowledges that Mr. Asman died as a result of the accident caused by his machine's malfunction. However, unbeknownst to the professor, he was being deliberately deceived by a pair of very clever fraudsters. Names, Counsel, if you please. The engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, and the victim himself, Mr. Odie Asman. Dots. So what exactly were those two men up to behind the defendant's back? The defense intends to expose that information, thus establishing the unequivocal innocence of the defendant. Let's go! Thank you, counsels. The positions of the prosecution and the defense have been clearly stated. Lord Von Six, summon your first witness, please. At once, my lord. The prosecution calls the engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, to the stand. There he is. State your name and occupation for the court. Name, Enoch Drebber. Occupation. Hard to pin down, I would say. See that black monocle? Yes. Why do I feel as though I've seen it somewhere before? Oh, you too. Had exactly the same feeling myself. Dots. From 10 years ago, right? Perhaps, mayhap. Your file indicates you're currently being investigated in connection with another case. The theft of a waxwork model, is it? A most extraordinary sounding business. But that has no bearing on this trial, I assure you. Leave it from your mind, but it does. I assure you, it does have bearing to this trial. You're familiar with the public experiment carried out at a great exhibition some days ago. The accused is super high voltage instantaneous kinesis demonstration. Yes, you could say that. I was aware of it. There was a terrible accident, wasn't there? It was you, Mr. Drebber, who constructed the vast machine used in the experiment. Or so our investigations indicate. Can you confirm your involvement? Yes, I constructed it. In precise accordance with the blueprints. But that's all. Now the court will be very interested to hear your thoughts about the machine, I'm sure. Dots. My god. An amazing device, if you ask me. The pinnacle of modern science, making instantaneous kinesis a reality at last. What? Good gracious! Do you mean to say that the experiment was bona fide? That is your belief, sir? Yes, that is very much my belief. Such a waste that it blew up.
Objection!
But we've already established the machine was nothing more than a prop for an elaborate conjuring trick.
Objection!
You've established nothing of the sort. All that was shown during yesterday's proceedings is that the same outcome could have been produced by means of staged trickery. The defense merely proposed a method and demonstrated its feasibility. Nothing more. But... We procrastinated long enough, I feel. Witness, you may now begin. You may now give your formal testimony. My throat. About the machine you constructed for the purpose of the demonstration at the Great Exhibition. Understood. Witness testimony, okay. The kinesis machine. I met the young professor approximately 1 year ago through Mr. Aspen's introduction. He provided me with the blueprints, and I constructed the machine to his precise specifications. There's no trick. Hang on. Are you winning? Yeah, we were winning. We saw Von Zieks' masked apprentice cut open the cork of his wine to allow Von Zieks to pour his wine out, so it was kind of crazy. This is a trapdoor. Anyways, welcome back, Eri. If the whole show was a fraud, it would have required a body double. Tell me, did the victim have a twin? It's right here. It's right here, and we can prove it because of the glass. Thank you. That's the extra of both of them, literally. And like, and the apprentice literally EI-doed his saber. It's amazing. All the spectators saw the birdcage appear above their heads, and then crash headfirst into the crystal tower. A terrible accident, I grant you. Perhaps the science on which the machine was built was flawed somehow. Okay, if they saw it fall head first, a body double. If they saw it fall head first, then why is it damaged at the base? That goes without saying, surely. To give the impression that something has moved from when in reality it hasn't. It's a basic conjuring principle. Oh hey, nice outfit, Renaski. I figured it was appropriate for them to wear this now. A deception cannot be achieved without substituting the original with a fake at some point in the performance. But would I be right in saying you haven't managed to establish anything along those lines? Yeah. Incidentally, the prosecution has already confirmed that Mr. Asman has no twin siblings. It's my understanding that this witness is well versed in conjuring artfulness. But such talents do not indicate he was actually able to accomplish what he claims. Namely, the construction of what, by all accounts, must have been an extremely complex scientific machine. Whatever do you mean? Yesterday's proceedings brought the true nature of your past exploits to light, Mr. Drebber. Indeed it did, my lord. As a swindler who preys on innocent scientists to elicit government grant money through conjuring know-how. Yes, it's true that I possess considerable knowledge of stage magic. But crucially, my scientific knowledge more than matches that of any academic in the field. Investigation to the witness's workshop attests to that claim, my lord. As evidence, the police found this Royal Society trophy for young talent in science there. Yes, that's true. We spotted it there ourselves. If a hypothesis is sound, it can always be forged into a physical manifestation with sufficient skill. Though I may have sowed the secrets of some deceptive wiles to sniveling, talentless scientists in the past. Would you therefore assert that the explosion of the machine was an unfortunate accident? Or, of course, a deliberate act of murder carried out by misuse of the site. He is so tall, look at him. Look at him. Counsel for the defense. Your cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. Let's do it. Hold it! I'm gonna press on everything. So you're already acquainted with Mr. Asman himself? Not really. By chance I seen his name mentioned in the papers, that's all. But I had no interest in his private affairs. If he was an unscrupulous investor, it was no concern of mine. As long as people pay their bills, I take up my tools and construct what they ask for. So why did Mr. Asman approach you in particular then? Who can say? I presume because my name is associated with excellence in engineering. Not to mention excellence in fraud. Hard to gauge. But the point is, all I did was construct the machine according to the blueprint I was given. That we can't, prove that he didn't because he burnt them. In other words, the Kinesis machine was built on solid scientific principles. Yes, you might say that. Professor Harebrain certainly has a mind like no other. That sounds like an insult, not gonna lie. Hold it! It's clear that you have both scientific knowledge and knowledge of conjuring magic, however. The more knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to handle whatever comes along. But your implication is that I furnished the machine with some trickery, I think. It's a possibility that we have to explore. Unfortunately, though, the machine has blown to Kingdom Come. There's nothing left to explore, is there? What about the trapdoor that the machine is built on, It appears that the Kinesis machine was fitted with a time explosive device of some kind. And there's nothing left of that device either. Not a single shred of evidence remaining, I hear. He must have planned all of this from the outset. But in any case, it's abundantly clear that the experiment couldn't have been a trick. Hold it! Of course, that's it. Mr. Asman was a twin. No! No, Ryunosuke! No! Von Zieg's already said that he had no twin sibling. Objection! Perhaps my learned friend wasn't listening earlier. Mr. Asman has had no twin siblings. No, I heard you before. But the thread of hope hadn't quite left me. The demonstration could have been a trick if there was somebody who looked sufficiently like the twin, like the victim. But Dr. Sif absolutely ruled out that possibility. Oh my god. It is beyond question that the victim himself, Mr. Asman, did move from the stage to the Crystal Tower. The fingerprints found at the scene attest to the fact. So it can't have been orchestrated using someone who looked identical to Mr. Asman then. Or maybe they moved the body after the fact. Because if we're going by that he was killed on stage, right? Or killed at the stage and he was moved. And no one found the body before the police, so it's an invisible killer. Meaning it's someone from the police Or perhaps someone from the investigation team. Who could say? What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, no, nothing. Well, a lot of things, Sasato, unfortunately. Is that the idea of someone who looked identical to the victim is playing on my mind? Wait. Someone who looks identical. We know that the head was removed, the head of the waxwork was removed from the body. But why? So that Drebber could attach another head on it that looks exactly like Asmon's. That he could put in another birdcage in the balloon so it lowers the risk of actually killing him. All the spectators. Okay, hold it. The crash head first, you say. This is crucial. This is very fucking crucial because if it crashed head first, why is the damage at the base of the birdcage? According to the many witness reports from those there at the time, yes. Were you not there at the exhibition grounds on the day? Unlikely. I rarely leave my workshop. Yet another one of your unique inventions was found at the scene. Dots. Well, it was the unveiling of a machine I'd labored over for many months. I saw it clearly with my own eyes. The birdcage plummeting headfirst into the tower. What a surprise! I believe the victim's neck was broken from the headlong fall, wasn't it? How would you have come by that information? Even an inferno recluse like me reads the newspapers, you know. According to the reports, 2 injuries were apparent on the victim's body. Yes, he'd been stabbed in the chest by a screwdriver, believed to belong to the defendant. Renosuke with 1 glove hits different. Like, look at him. And he had broken vertebrae as a result of a fall from a considerable height. Correct. My learned friend has been doing his research, it seems. Do you know which injury was the fatal one? Sadly not. Forensic science is not at a level where such things can be determined. What we do know is that the victim died having sustained both injuries at some point during the experiment. And since he was found in the birdcage with his neck broken, it's obvious that he fell from a considerable height. I suppose that's hard to deny. Okay, so I'm gonna argue against that because we found that this was damage at the base. Objection! We've examined the birdcage that crashed into the crystal tower ourselves. As you can see, the cage, which is a wooden construction, has sustained damage in one particular spot. Following the explosion, it fell some 30 feet into the glass of the crystal tower. That level of damage is to be expected, surely. I agree. The damage itself is entirely understandable. What doesn't make sense is the location of that damage. All the breakages in the woods are at the base of the birdcage, not the top. What are you saying? That's the opposite of where it should be. That's right, my lord. The birdcage that was at the scene is damaged at its base. So we have reports of the birdcage falling headlong into the crystal tower. Yet the damage is at the bottom. The only way to reconcile these two facts is to accept that there were 2 bird cages in play that day, which were at some point switched. switched during what wasn't a scientific experiment at all, but an elaborate piece of stage trickery. Gah. Gah. Good gracious. Explain yourself, witness. Well... If we examine the facts, there's only one logical conclusion we can draw. The damage on the base of the birdcage clearly indicates that it crashed tail first into the tower, or it fell the fuck into the podium. Perhaps that's what happened, good sir.
Objection.
But multiple witness reports claim it fell head first. The birdcage materialized in the sky next to the balloon flying over the stage, following a spontaneous explosion at an altitude of some 60 feet above ground level, which is approximately 18 meters. It then proceeded to fall some 30 feet into the crystal tower and the ensuing deflagration. Witness reports amid such chaos are notoriously unreliable.
Objection.
But the victim's neck was broken.
Objection.
He plummeted 30 feet inside a heavy wooden cage. However he fell, it would be unsurprising to find one or two of his vertebrae crushed. Dots. A riveting scientific analysis of events from the prosecution there. Though to be even more rigorous, we would have to say it was only one vertebra, actually. He wasn't quiet for long. But hard to see what's motivating Lord Von Zeeks. This witness is clearly a swindler, the one who deceived a personal friend of his. Because we need to prove without a shadow of a doubt that is true. Dots. If you're going to establish this deception, do it right. Sorry? I feel like that's the undertone here. Yes. There's one more point the defense appears to have forgotten. It obviously wasn't a trick, as a certain truth very plainly demonstrates. What? It seems to me that a cross-examination had better continue until we resolve this matter. Mr. Drebber, you will amend your testimony with details of this truth. Of course. We must treat the matter scientifically, after all. Yeah. I nearly had him there. Dots. Oh my god, is he just dancing? Bruh. Because there's nowhere else. Nowhere else? Wait, if this is the scale and like this area here to here is 30 feet, would this area here to here be 30 feet as well? Boom. Like how tall is this podium? Is the stage? I'm gonna press on this. What do you mean? Well, before the demonstration began, the victim was alive on stage in front of the audience. Yes, there are lots of witnesses who saw Mr. Asman on the experimentation stage, that's true. And the victim's neck broke as a result of an impact following a fall. Logically, therefore, The victim must have fallen from somewhere. Can you amend it to that, and then I can prove to you, you know? The balloon that exploded was at an altitude of 60 feet. The point of impact on the tower was 30 feet up. That difference of 30 feet is therefore the total distance the birdcage fell. And there's no other location from which the cage could have fallen that distance if it didn't drop out of the sky. Can you amend your testimony with this, and I can present to you the picture? Ergo. The victim himself must have been beamed from the sky, from the stage into the sky, above the crystal tower. A trenchant scientific analysis. Dear me. Every time I hear it explained, it sounds increasingly plausible. Oh yes. It's all very well thought out. Certainly all the spectators on the day saw it. The birdcage plummeting 30 feet through the air, I mean. Irritatingly, yes.
Objection!
Damn it, no! God damn it. Why not? You know what? Fine. I'll press on the last statement. Why not?
Hold it!
Let's go. So you understood the science, did you? Not in the slightest. Oh, right. As I've said a number of times, I'm an engineer. My job is to manufacture according to the blueprint I'm given. I would be inviting manifold problems if I foolishly allowed my brain to digest the ideas behind them. I could be accused of stealing those ideas, for example. But how is it possible to construct a machine without really understanding the principles it relies on? Well, you're practicing law without really understanding the principle it relies on, aren't you? Wow, wow. Dots. A very good point, Jesus Christ. Stand up for yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. The point is, the experiment resulted in instantaneous kinesis taking place. As such, the science must be sound. Yes, and really, experimental results are all that matters when it comes to proving a hypothesis. He's certainly very sure of himself. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, now that the machine has been completely destroyed by yesterday's explosion, it's going to be impossible to argue its authenticity one way or another. But if we're unable to establish that it was a piece of stage trickery rather than genuine science, we'll have no grounds on which to demonstrate Professor Harebrain's innocence. But Mr. Asman and his men in the stand tricked the professor and used him. They took advantage of his naivety and his unbending belief in his work, and I won't let them get away with it. And seeing as the professor is an old friend of Lord Von Zeke's, what on earth must he be feeling toward Drebber? Hmm. But why can't we say that, like, this is where, you know, it happened? Because he clearly fell in through there, right? But we can't establish, but we don't know for sure that the... Because we don't know for sure, like, how high the actual thing is. Like, between here and here, you know? We weren't given specifications of that. He didn't have a twin, but the waxwork model, though. And we can prove that this is like... I might be looking at the wrong thing. Because I need to I need to establish a way. Because by itself, it's not enough to dispel that it was used, right? But this is clearly a piece of broken glass from, you know, but it's not enough to dispel this. Did the victim have a twin? He did not, but he did have a body double. I'm not sure. Let me think. I almost want to like put the glass on the third option, but then the fact that this changed means we need to clearly talk about this. But like this photograph doesn't mean anything because it's like, yeah, apparently the metal stage opening is not enough. Fucking apparently. You know? I mean, okay, maybe I just need to show like it can fall from here to here. You know? Fuck it, I'll just present it.
Objection.
There we go, okay. This is a diagram of the experimentation stage and its surroundings. Dots. Okay, alright, okay. My mind was right. The piece of evidence to get to there is wrong. Alright, love that. We know that somehow the birdcage appeared in midair before falling down into the Crystal Tower. A fall of about 30 feet, or 9 meters. However, if you investigate the diagram carefully, you'll see that there is one other possible location from which the birdcage could have fallen. In the same distance of 30 feet, roughly, apparently, because it did say relative, like, distance, right? So it should be all made to scale, right? No! Dots. Well, it appears the defense has a possible explanation to put forth. Go ahead, counsel. Yes, my lord. Of course. It will indicate the place to which you are referring on the same diagram. The alternative location from which the birdcage could have possibly fallen the requisite 30 feet. Right here.
Take that!
If it had fallen from here. Oh, wait, no, from where it fallen.
Objection!
From where it fallen, not where it fell to. Fuck you. But that's my learned friend's claim. I suggest he demonstrates for the court, personally. Huh? Fuck you, man. Fuck you. You and your fucking words. God. Never mind. From which could have possibly fallen the requisite 30 feet. Here. God.
Take that!
God damn it. I lost 2 points out of like sheer like pedanticness. God damn it. The place I'm referring to is here. But that's where the birdcage would have been to begin with. Wait, hang on. Which is exactly the point, my lord. Yes. The birdcage was in the machine on the stage. But what we must also consider is the height of the stage itself. Go on, counsel. It turns out that the experimentation stage was built at a considerable height above ground level. If you look at the diagram, in fact, you see it's about the same height above the ground as the balloon was above the crash site. When the experiment got underway, the machine and the birdcage were engulfed in steam. At that moment, the floor and the stage gave way, and we assumed there to be a void underneath. This birdcage and the one seen by the audience would have fallen almost exactly the same distance. Look at him. Once again, my lord, this all points to the fact that there is not one birdcage, but two!
Objection!
My Leonard friend has no evidence that the stage has such a contrivance in its design. You just gave me the evidence, you motherfucker! Someone is responsible for the criminal destruction of the kinesis machine itself, it's true. However, the stage still stands. And take a moment to look at the photographic print of the scene following yesterday's explosion that you gave me, asshole. Good lord, the metal grill that formed the floor of the machine is undone. Yes, most likely blown open by the force of the explosion that destroyed the rest of the machine. The defense calls for the space below the stage to be investigated immediately. Mr. Drebber, it was you who built the kinesis machine, which means that it was you who built the two bird cages that were used to carry out this deception. Whether Professor Herbrain's hypothesis is sound or not makes no difference, because it's the construction of this machine that matters. A machine designed to take Mr. Asmon's life. And lay the blame firmly at the professor's door. Something that could have only been carried out by you, Mr. Enoch Drebber. Oh, damn. Ugh. Oh my god, he's so animated. I love that.
Objection!
Oh? Oh my god, they're so extra. Good god. The double desk slam. If my learned friend has reached the end of his wild assertions. You just for that? Just for that? Just for that? You opened that shit up just to crush it in your hands. Lovely. The prosecution would like to crush the defense's argument slowly, but surely. What? Your argument fails to hold water on 2 accounts. 2? Firstly, before and after the experiment, this witness went nowhere near the kinesis machine. Every relevant member of staff from the exhibition has attested to that. And I believe members of Scotland Yard have also been on watch duty at every public experiment. In other words, Mr. Drebber had no opportunity to switch the alleged pair of bird cages. Sure, but the police do, right?
Objection!
No, but I already explained why he wouldn't have needed to. No, but you haven't explained why he needed to, because there's a body appeared at the fucking Crystal Tower, Rinosuke. The nonsense of the crossbow. That doesn't bolster your case at all. The man who disappeared from the stage and the man who crashed into the tower are one and the same. The forensic investigation team's report is unequivocal on that point. And the second flaw in your assertion is a distinct lack of motive. Why would this man have wanted to take the victim's life? He had no reason to do so. Do we have something on him, perhaps? Maybe? No? A motive? Do I have to think of everything myself? I have here a contract provided by the witness. What contract is this, Lord Van Zieks? A contract into which Mr. Drebber entered with the victim, Mr. Aspen. It reads, Mr. Drebber is to receive 30% of all remunerations from government grants or other income. 30%. Certainly very favorable contractual conditions. But there was one very important provision bolted onto that clause. What provision? Mr. Drebber may only uphold this right on condition that both contracting parties are alive. In other words, if either of us were to die, the contract would be null and void. As you can see, I had nothing to gain from Mr. Asmon's death. A diametric opposite, in fact. But what if, like, you wanted him to be dead? Right? Because you were the one who discovered the professor's body that came... Like, what if it was something from 10 years ago? Like, he was a reporter or something, right? Wasn't he? Wasn't that mentioned? Yeah. Need I say more? The witness had neither an opportunity or reason to commit the alleged crime. In short, the possibility of Mr. Drebber having done as you suggest is nil. Yeah. Yeah. He's so cocky now. What the hell? It seems the defense's assertion was somewhat wide of the mark. Lord Von Zieks, you will submit the contract as evidence, please. Drebber's contract has been entered. Okay. It's true. Wait, hang on. Are we about to enter into a summation examination? Wait, hang on. Terms of investment. The investor, Mr. Odie Asman, hereby enters into contract with the provider, Mr. Enoch Drebber, to fund labor and materials for the construction of a super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine. Mr. Drebber is to receive 30% of all remunerations from government grants or other income. Mr. Drebber may only uphold this right on condition that both contracting parties are alive. Okay. I love that he put the signatures here, like it's actually written out. That's kind of cool. Well, let's continue on. It's true. If Drebber had no opportunity to switch the birdcage under the stage 1 in the Crystal Tower, he couldn't have done it. And in any case, I have no idea what his motive might have been, but we still have the glass, right? With the waxwork, and we established that he was the one who stole it. Because that's what he's under trial for. We found the head in his workshop. And we found the glass in the waxwork at the museum. There's one aspect of your argument that still holds true, however. There were 2 bird cages. The prosecution is unable to deny that. So I'm sure you're on the right lines, Mr. Naruhodo. And I have no doubt there are other aspects of your assertion. There are undeniable truths too. Well, it would seem the defense has no rejoinder to offer. Dots. Well, I must say I'm a little surprised. I came here to testify about the machine I built, and instead my reputation is defiled. I mean, it's already been defiled, sir. But the prosecution's counter has set the record straight, I think. It's impossible that I'm the culprit.
Objection.
Let's go. At the beginning of this trial, we believe there was only 1 birdcage. And now we know there must have been 2. In other words, there was more to the demonstration than we realized at first. Dots. I think it's abundantly clear that the same applies to the culprit. Get to the point. The stage demonstration was constructed and set up in its entirety by you, Mr. Drebber. Therefore, it's inconceivable that you had no hand in the events that transpired. Dots. So if circumstances mean it's impossible that you could have carried out the crime yourself, you had an accomplice. It points to the fact that someone else was involved. Someone else. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, my lord. Mr. Drebber had an accomplice.
Objection.
An accomplice now. Oh then, I presume you're prepared for what's to come. Now that you're accusing not only this witness, but someone else of the most serious of crimes. If these accusations turn out to be false, then make no mistake. The prosecution will demand an equally serious punishment for your slander. Dots. Well, counsel, do you intend to pursue this course and formally accuse another party of involvement in this matter? Dots. What do I do here? At the moment, this is a little more than a hunch on my part. I don't know for sure if Drebber had an accomplice, but even if he really is the culprit here. Dots. One way or another, though, I have to make my position clear as a lawyer. So what's my stance going to be? Did Drebber have an accomplice or not? It has to be Courtney, right? Because if she, okay, so let's say this, right? If Drebber's account 10 years ago was correct, and the professor did rise from the grave, right? If that did actually happen, then that means this autopsy report was falsified by Courtney Stevens, who is most likely to be Courtney Sif. You know? Meaning, if she falsified that, then that could be blackmail on her end, right? Because perhaps there was actually photographic evidence of it happening, of like him rising from the dead. And since Courtney is currently the head of the investigation team, the forensic investigation team, she would be an invisible person at the scene of the crime because she is part of Scotland Yard. You know? I think I'm on the mark there. I think I am on the mark there. But am I able to just just say it out there? Like, we have to name the accomplice. We have to. Otherwise, like, you know, we can't back down. We have to name the accomplice. It has to be Courtney. We have to do it. The defense is ready to name Mr. Drebber's accomplice. Somehow the two bird cages must have been switched. Everything points to that. And since the forensics team is the first one to full send, let's go. Yet according to the coroner's report, that's not a possibility. Which means the coroner's report is a fucking lie. Hey, we already exposed state secrets to the public. You know? We already exposed state secrets to the public, so why not name a member of Scotland Yard as a criminal? Why not? The two burgers must have been switched, but because, like, he was stabbed at the place. Counsel. My lord. You have received the stock warning already. If you are nevertheless determined, then I must now ask you to identify this alleged accomplice by name. Osan, we go, we ball. So, your answer, please. Who do you claim to have been Mr. Drebber's accomplice? Courtney Sif.
Take that!
Name of the person in question is... What's wrong, my Nipponese friend? Surely fear doesn't bind your tongue now. It's a little late for that. Of course I'm afraid. After all, naming her in this capacity is definitely gonna make waves. A lot of waves. I could very well turn every single person in this courtroom against me. Buddy, you revealed state secrets to the government. It's already too late. You've already made waves. I'm sure it'll be alright, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you, Mrs. Sato. The enemy always appear larger than life, but you'll appear exactly the same to the enemy. Alright then, here goes. You've kept us waiting long enough. Your answer, Council. Now. The person who colluded with Mr. Drebber in order to carry out this wicked crime is Scotland Yard's coroner, Dr. Courtney Sith! Bro, he has made more than wait. Exactly. What the blazes are you talking about? Dr. Sith? The head of the forensic investigation team, and the coroner who conducted the autopsy on the victim. Let's fucking go. We know there are 2 bird cages. So who could have carried out the switch to complete the illusion? That's what I was fucking saying! He made an entire tsunami by now. Earthquake, tsunami. You know, as Von Zieks might say, a common Nipponese trick. The accident happened in front of a huge crowd of spectators, and the area was immediately sealed off. Then everyone, police and officers included, were banished to make way for the forensic investigation team. When else could a switch have occurred? It can only have been in that team's presence. Dots. It's essential that the court determines exactly what happened following the incident. The defense demands that Dr. Sith be summoned to the witness stand at once to testify. Let's go. Oh my god. You've got a nerve, lad. Standing up there, dragging the yarn's name through the mud. I didn't mean to. I know the woman very well. There's no better dead room worker out there. How dare you call her a criminal? My learned friend's imagination appears to be wilder than the East End at night. We need to prove it, right? But the recklessness of your accusation aside, there's another grave problem with your argument. Oh, wait, the body double? One which the prosecution demands you address at once. A grave problem. Oh my word. Who do you claim acted as the victim's doppelganger? What? Certainly. If the birdcage containing the body of the victim was exchanged for another, that cage must have also contained a body. And yet, no missing persons or accidental deaths of anyone even remotely resembling the victim have been reported. Which means there was no one, dead or alive, who could have fulfilled the role of a body double for Mr. Asman. Oh, there might be someone who's dead though. Yeah, that's true. But my argument is that there were 2 bird cages. There must have been one person inside each. But I don't know if I got an answer to this yet. We do. What can I do to reveal how this body double snow was retrieved? Present evidence. We've got ahead. You know, as much as we've gotten ahead of ourselves, we haven't gotten ahead of ourselves for this part. Or I guess you could say we definitely have gotten ahead of ourselves for this one. Very well. Oh, I just read that. Very well. The defense will address my learned friend's concerns by presenting evidence that reveals the true nature of Mr. Asman's body double. Did he just learn friends Von Zieks? Jesus. Good gracious. Evidence. I do hope this isn't filibustering, Counsel. The court is expecting a name. If you think you have relevant evidence, present it now. The body double and the birdcage were hiding inside the balloon that was floating above the stage, which means that any witnesses would only have seen them from 60 feet away. So who was it that apparently fell out of that explosion some 18 meters above the spectators? Dots. Aha! It was no one! The body double inside his birdcage was... Take that! We know that the victim, Mr. Asman, was in a birdcage which was situated inside the kinesis machine on stage, and therefore, he couldn't have been inside the second birdcage. Instead, that contained something else. It was described as a body double, which is what fell from the sky and crashed into the crystal tower. Yes, Counsel. According to a somewhat elaborate version of events. And that body double inside the second birdcage was in fact... It's alright, Mr. Naruhodo. You're ready for this. It's a waxwork model. Just steer yourself. And come out with it. Be a steel samurai, Rinosuke. Do it! Thank you, Mrs. Sato. I needed that. As I was saying, the body double inside the second birdcage was... As unbelievable as it may seem, that thing over there... What the wait. Huh? It was here the whole fucking time. Wait, what? When was this here? When was this put here? What the fuck? Huh? Okay. Open your eyes. When was this here?
Objection!
Who willed this in? Dots. The entire model is here, like literally, what the, you know? Open your eyes and look into mine, my Nipponese friend. Thoughts on Enoch Drebber. I love his glove. I love his glove, Penquill. Like, his whole fit is amazing. I love that. I love it. And the fact that he's moving like basically as if he's like a clockwork machine and stuff is just, it's too good. It's too good. Disturbing the peace. Look into my eye. I can't finish that, goddamn. It's too good, Eri, goddamn. Now tell me, what are you playing at? It came ship of the coffin? It's here with the coffin! Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. The entire fucking model is here with the... What the hell? What is going on? Stand firm now, Rinosuke. This is the time to show your Japanese spirit. As the court will observe, this is a waxwork model. A model, in fact, of an infamous London murder from 10 years ago. The Professor.
Objection!
You started by indicting the leader of the forensic investigation team as an accomplice in this crime. Quite an impactful waxwork model, literally. I mean, it just, you know what? Whatever the case is, we are definitely in a grave situation here. And now you've moved on to indicting waxworks. Yes, that's about the size of it. But why? And why this waxwork? Because this is the waxwork that Enoch Drebber stole from Madame Tuspel's, sir. It looks nothing like the victim. In fact, it could hardly resemble him less. But the thing is, the waxwork was returned without a head. What possible justification can you give? If you want to know why, ask Mr. Drebber. What? Just days before Professor Harebrain performed his public demonstration, Mr. Drebber abducted this model from Madame Tuspel's. Did you say abducted? And 2 days after the incident at the Great Exhibition, he returned it to the museum. Then the timing. Is this true, Mr. Drebber? Yeah. At first, I couldn't see why Mr. Drebber would have stolen the waxwork and then given it back again. But now, the reason is clear. Let's go, let's go, let's go. He took it so that he could put it inside the second birdcage as a body double for Mr. Asman. Are we not gonna mention that it was returned, like, headless? Are you hearing this, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Are you hearing the defense's astonishing proposal? Do you know the name of the professor yet? Not yet. We're not at that point in the game. I don't think Penk will. That the witness fabricated this vast machine with the intention of deceiving some wretched scientist. That he did so in collusion with the country's finest coroner on a public stage in front of a vast audience. And that, to effect the deception, he used a waxwork model that in no way resembles the victim. Are we really to believe this far-fetched tale? What do you decide? I have evidence! I have glass!
Objection!
Wait. Yes, you put it like that. Of course it sounds implausible. Just say you have evidence! Just say you have evidence that this specific waxwork model was at the Crystal Tower, Runescape. My god. My lord. I need to speak, if you please. Do not let them go in. Do not let them. Dude, you don't need to let this go into a summation examination. Just present the glass. Just present. Just present this glass. Just present it. My god, please, Runosuke. Please. You found it in the waxwork model. You came to the conclusion that it is the same glass that is found at the Crystal Tower. How else would it have gotten in there? Sir. Okay. Calm down. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Myself and my colleagues have reached an agreement. Very good. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings for the court to hear now.
Guilty.
No,
Guilty.
we object. We object.
Guilty!
God damn it.
Guilty.
Guilty!
Kill me!
Present the glass, Runosuke. God damn it. God damn it. So, as indicated by the foreman, the jury has reached a consensus. I knew that was going to happen. Then you should have presented the fucking glass, Runosuke! We should get through this, Mr. Naruhodo. As we always do. Runosuke's trip wasn't good enough to save us from a guilty verdict. He could have just presented a glass and just indicated the wax model there. We have it for a reason. We have it for a fucking reason, Runosuke. Why? And to cover some new truths along the way. I'm quite sure. Fine, let's get the summation examination over with. Yes, I agree. I'm gonna have to appeal to the jurors as usual and see if I can persuade them to change their minds. The defense will now embark on a summation examination. Are you and your fellows ready to proceed, Mr. Foreman? We are, my lord. Very well. In that case, I ask you now to state clearly for all present to hear grounds on which each of you has decided that the defendant is guilty of the crime of which he is charged. Alright, let's do it. the jurors' contentions. I've known that woman for years. She'd never be an accomplice to anything. Sure. It's utter nonsense to think those two would ever be conniving with one another. Oh dear. This is most troubling. The cheerleader waxwork demand still has nothing to do with the coroner, is it? Oh, it is. Oh, it is. Because she was the same coroner. I've had my own problems with members of the police. I do not trust them much. I've seen no rigorous proof that this wax was ever inside the cage. It's conjecture. I have evidence. Accusing someone without right evidences. He's not a proper job, is he? I would have it. We could have just presented the glass, but you know what? We're gonna have to present the, this report. Somewhat unsurprisingly, it seems the introduction of this waxwork model to proceedings has polarized opinion. Given that its face is obscured, and its build in no way resembles that of the victim. I can only applaud my learned friend's temerity at suggesting it as Mr. Asmund's body double. Yes, the applause is deafening. And yes, I know it seems extraordinary. But that's the point. That's why I have a strong feeling it's actually a greater clue than anyone could yet realizes. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? I can't explain why at the moment, but I feel as though there's a specific reason why it was used. Why it had to be this model. Really? A reason why nothing else would do, you mean? Yes, and I'm convinced. It's something far more significant than whether or not the model looked like the victim. Well, if that's the case, we must prevent the trial from ending prematurely at all costs. Yes, agreed. I have to find a way out of this. If you are ready, counsel, you may proceed with the summation examination. Yes, my lord, let's do it. Let's get this done. Oh my god, look at him in the back. The defense's rebuttal. I will press this.
Hold it!
The order of things seems to have changed around here for some reason. I'm a copper, lad. It's a copper's discretion to bend the rules sometimes when needs must. I see. What's wrong with that? Where did I start? The fact that it's against the law? Anyways, I've been working at a yard for 40 odd years. That's even more than I thought. We've only had a metropolitan police service in town for 70 years, you know. Of course, times have changed. The public didn't trust coppers back when I started. It was rough. We had to fight crime, and we had to fight to win the public's trust as well. And when we did, forensic science was in its infancy too. Even more than it is now. And she spearheaded the revolution. Dr. Sif, you mean? That's right. Well, 10 years ago now it was. When I was still a youngish Bobby on the beat, but... Wait. Has the little mouse been on his shoulder the whole time? It has, Ari. But you've been working for 40 years. That's when she started making a name for herself as a top-class coroner. And now look at her. Head of the forensic investigation team. And a woman, no less. Well, you won't hear me complaining. It's what we all dreamt of back then, I tell you. Could you tell me without holding that gun in the air? We're all out to uphold justice, lad. Full of vim, we were. Full of vim. That's coming across loud and clear.
Hold it!
But we're only just starting to understand this case. Dots. What are you reading there, sir? The man behind those murders on Solopone Street was caught in 2 days flat. That's real policing for you. That's really not relevant to this case, is it? You're wrong there. Because it was Dr. Sif in charge of examining the bodies. There was evidence arising from her work that led to the arrest of the scoundrel responsible. Oh. That's right. Oh. That woman is at the forefront of this country's fight against crime. The idea that she's somehow involved in this murky business is a load of tosh. I wouldn't be so quick to say that. I thought it was up to me to press the jurors, not the other way around.
Hold it!
Ah. Why would you assume that? Well, quite simply because that unsettling swindler has no relationship with the woman, does she? Does he? True. As it stands, we don't know of any connection. Oh gosh, but it would be delightfully romantic if there was someone to have a mutual interest in the waxwork. Romantic? A woman of society such as myself views everything in terms of relationships, you know? Well, you learn something new every day, even if you don't want to. One might wonder what a possible relationship between the defendant and this coroner woman. Or perhaps between the defendant and the handsome prosecutor, just... Well, madame, they are really good friends. Is this woman... This one may be more astute than I've been giving her credit for. That's the woman's stance. And perhaps demonstrating some connection between the waxwork and Dr. Sif would be enough. Yes, I agree. As soon as you have even a whiff of connection, you'll be the first to know. But we have, evidence, right?
Hold it!
Well, we're gonna press everyone to get more information. What sort of problems? Let's just say we have run into each other on numerous occasions while I've been performing on the street. Right, I see. Obviously, artists such as myself cannot appear on stage as we work in close proximity to our audiences. So we perform our great magic in parks, on street corners, and the like. But the police use any excuse to make our lives difficult. Oh?
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say in response to that, Mr. Ottermole? Who are you calling a mass murderer? Oh, sorry, my mistake. I got confused here because I heard you look like him. I don't look anything like the man. Don't be locked up, Sonny. Thanks, Mr. Sholmes. Perhaps you could move on. I was really wondering if you had something you wanted to add in response to what juror number 3 just said. And clearly you do. Back in my day, back in the good old days, it wasn't like this. What was it like, sir? We worked our fingers to the bone to earn the public's trust, we did. And by Jove, we earned it. People respected us back then. Respected you. No one would have called a coroner into question in them days. A coroner's report was the hallmark of an investigation done right. Especially when Dr. Courtney Stevens put a name to it. Let's go! She was the best of the best. And the apple... Hold on a minute. What are you talking about? Who's Courtney Stevens? Motherfucker, it's... Yeah, there we go. Ah, sorry. Got a bit carried away there. Stevens is Dr. Sif's maiden name. Her maiden name. So that was before she was married. Of course, yes. Silly me. It's Sif now, isn't it? Stevens. It's in the coroner report, Naruhodo. It's in there. It's right there. I'm sure I've seen that name somewhere recently. Anyway, the point is, those are the great old days of policing. Not like now. Can you I need you to change your thing to that. I need you to change your thing to add that, please. Sorry to interrupt, sir. But do you think you could change your statement to include that name? Oh yes. I don't see why not. Okay, for that, I'll add here.
Hold it!
But he claimed the whole instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a trick. That I did. But there's more than one way to pull a rabbit out of a hat, isn't there? Sorry? I grant you. Given that this cage appeared from amidst an explosion, there had been no need to use a real person, but if a waxwork had been used, the culprit could have at least had the decency to make it look like the victim. I'm not sure exactly how much criminals are governed by decency. The point is, if you're going to make a claim about that waxwork being inside the birdcage, you need to give us some evidence. Without that, it's just not science. Can I just present it? I suppose we should expect nothing less than a logical argument from a fellow of the Royal Society. But that perhaps means his mind can be changed if we manage to present suitable evidence. Evidence that Professor Waxwork was inside that birdcage. I have evidence. Actually, I have something I'd like you to see, sir. Oh? I must warn you that I firmly believe it's only wise to trust men in white coats. So given your jet black outfit, I don't mind admitting to a sense of trepidation here. You don't trust anyone in black. Looking in the mirror must be very trying. I do have some evidence that proves the waxwork was inside the birdcage, namely...
Take that!
Yeah, this! There we go! What's that? A piece of glass. Though it's unusually thick for glass. Yes, it's a piece of broken glass that we found inside the jacket of the waxwork. As you say, it's not ordinary glass though. It's very thick, and clearly made for extra strength. Much like the special glass that was developed for the construction of the Crystal Tower. It's not that I'm not glad to be able to tune it, but I'm always a little scared when you're still alive and when I get out for it. Oh, hi Yuki, hello. Exactly. The centerpiece of the Great Exhibition, where the very incident we're talking about took place. On the day in question, the birdcage fell from above and smashed through a window of that special glass. From whence this small piece originated? Is that it? Precisely. So, what do you say? Now that clear evidence in support of the assertion has been placed before you. But I hope you had a good day at work, Yuki. Thoughts? Well, as I said, I only trust men in white coats as a rule. However, when the reasoning is sound, it's fair to say color shouldn't come into it. In light of what you've shown me here, yes, I feel obliged to change my position on the matter. Let's go. In that case, drawing number 4. You will amend your statement now, please.
Hold it!
Again. I've gotta ask, why have you brought that Corin into court with you? Colonel Cobb, he's been going back on the farm. Pick him up on my way into town. He's a proper nibbler, he is. Oh, sorry, we had a training after work, so I'm kind of drained. Oh no. Well, I hope you're able to get some rest and some food, Yuki. Yes, the nibbling seems to be taking quite a while. Maybe it could wait until after the trial. Ooh, I don't like the sound of that. You need colonels at times like these. I have so many questions about Juror 5. Like, why is a child here? Why are you know? Whenever I summon big to decide, the colonels always point me in the right direction, say? You're talking about your cob of corn. Nibble normal guilty bubble, nibble not guilty out. Oh, nibble normal guilty bubble, nibble not guilty out. Nibble normal guilty bubble, oh my god. Is this how you decide? Clearly the jury vetting wasn't very stringent back then, surely. Perhaps it's akin to fortune telling with flower petals like people do back home. So Professor Herbin's fate is decided by a cob of corn. Well, Albert. Prepare to be a corn. Prepare to be corned. I sense a pen coming. Do you sense it? Are you sure? When is a pun ever not coming in this game? Oh man, oh my back. Or just with toy in general. I mean, like, whatever you say, the verdict's corn wild. So basically we're doomed either way. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you know what? Say what you okay. Say what you want. Say what you want, Yugi. Say what you want, Eri. Say what you want, right? But I feel like juror number 5 is onto something here. I think she's actually onto something here. You know what? Truly, using her current to decide the verdict is truly an amazing way to give a verdict. I'm just saying. Ooh, okay. Could you not at least wait until we've had more time to find the truth before deciding on the defendant's guilt? They were saying when I have my jury do this, I should show up with Corin. Exactly. You should. You should. It will make a statement. It will make a statement. Ooh, I don't know about that. My time's awfully full already. I'll know exactly who sent me. You do that. You do that. No fucking way. No fucking way. Oh shit! Amazing! Let's fucking go! No fucking way! The game did it! The game did it! Oh my god! Oh my god! We did the same thing! Oh shit! Oh, you can get lost in that one. You could. I mean, some might say you could have a whole field day with that. Oh god. Okay. I know it seems a little far-fetched to think that the waxwork model of the professor was in that birdcage. But on the other hand, it explains a lot. If there really is a reason why that particular waxwork had to be used as Mr. Asmon's double, we must do everything we can to make the jurors understand it. The truth is, I'm sure that's the key to this, but it's the most puzzling part of it too. In that case, you should see what additional information you can glean whilst trying to change the jurors' minds. You can read a book whilst eating a rice cracker, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sure you can do this. Oh, right. Yes. Hang on. I'm gonna pit the girl with Hang on, I'm gonna pit her with him.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Good gracious! Whose statement do you prefer, counsel? So, jury number 2. Because there is a connection. She was the coroner of the professor himself. Oh gosh, May, what can I do for you? I presume that you heard what juror number 6 said in his statement. It's about to light the maiden name of the coroner, Dr. Sif, which in turn has revealed a connection that wasn't apparent before. Well, naturally, as a woman of society, I find such connections and relationships irresistible. But oh golly, I'm afraid I failed to see what you mean. Dr. Sif's maiden name is Stevens, and through that name, the coroner is very definitely linked to the waxwork of the killer. The defense has evidence to prove it. My goodness, evidence you say? How utterly enthralling. How so? The court cannot overlook that last remark. I very much hope it is substance to your claim. Of course, my lord. I would ask the court to look at this. The evidence that clearly links Dr. Sif to the mass murderer known as the Professor. Let's go. I got top secret police autopsy reports, buddy. I have here a certain autopsy report from 10 years ago. A 10-year-old autopsy report? What relevance does that have? 10 years ago was when the Professor case happened, my guy? Bro, come on. It is, of course, from the autopsy of the person portrayed in the waxwork. The killer, known as the Professor. The Professor's not the man was a capital offender, so... That's right. This is the certification of death that was drawn up after the convict's execution. The identity of the killer was never made public, so the report gives few details. But what's important is the name of the coroner who wrote it. Courtney Stevens. Oh my, Courtney Stevens! Struck a light. It appears that the professor's autopsy was conducted by Dr. Sif 10 years ago. And a few days ago, Dr. Drebber very deliberately stole the waxwork of the professor from Madame Spells. A waxwork that doesn't in fact resemble the victim, Mr. Asman, at all. And do you suppose there's some unsavory relationship between those events? Are you guys not getting a lot of screen time? The one I can tune in. Absolutely, I'm sure of it. Yuki, you're talking about Von Zeeks? There's no doubt in my mind that the Professor case is at the heart of a link that we have yet to uncover. Between Dr. Courtney Sif and Mr. Enoch Drebber. Dots. Hidden links, mysterious connections, secret relationships. This is all most extraordinary. Baby girl will get his time to shine. I'm surely obliged now to explore this further. Let's go. Let's go, madame. Yay. Von Zeeks. Lovely. What? Right. We can't let this trial come to an end now. Not while there's this cloud of suspicion hanging over the odds as best coroner. It wasn't like this back in my days. But we're still here to uphold justice in the end. I keep changing his accent, but it's fine. I saw links that rifle swindler to the coroner. Okay. Wait, hang on. Okay, I got this. Hang on. I need to present the guy's claims. If the odds coroner is under suspicion, then we're not done here yet, are we? Clearly. There we go, kid. The two statements clearly contradict each other. Good gracious. Whose statements do you refer, counsel? If you could put down your corn for a moment, juror number 5. Ooh, you mean May? You pointed out that it's wrong to make an accusation without evidence. But the accusation that a waxwork model was inside the second birdcage on the day in question is now without supporting evidence, as the defense demonstrated to the juror sitting beside you. Dots? Knowing how fire-prone those O structures were, this courtroom concerns me great. Right? Ooh, is that right? Dots. Would it be fair to say you didn't follow the argument? I don't understand much besides Colonel Cobb, to be honest. Dots. Of course you don't. If I could interject here. Please do, sir. Now that this assertion of yours about the waxwork has been backed up by some solid evidence, it would be wrong of me, as a man of science, not to pursue the matter further. Alright, it's even. It's balanced. Oh, well, me too then. Sorry? If this brainy gentleman says he's right, then he must be. See? How many Colonel Cobbs have graced this courtroom at a point? Like, she basically has a whole contingent or army, you know? I wouldn't dream of going against Colonel Cobb or anyone's got stuffing between the ears. Slam. Oh. There we go. Shifted to our side now. Success. If you can call it that. Let's go.
Thank you, Counsel. That will do. As a result of the summation examination, the jury's overall leaning has changed. 2 jurors now call guilty, against 4 who call not guilty.
Seemingly infinite corn, seemingly infinite wine. Together they can solve any famine. Corn and wine. You've heard of corn on a cob. Got ready for corn in the court. Anyways.
And the trial must continue.
We did it. Why are you surprised? You keep doing this, Ryunosuke. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. Another wonderful victory.
The waxwork of the despicable professor, used as a body double for the victim in this quite extraordinary case. I must say, it's extremely hard to believe the assertion could possibly be true. However, it appeared that it does at least warrant further investigation.
It's the waxwork of the professor that links Mr. Drebber and Dr. Sith. And I'm convinced that there's a special significance to that link.
I don't know what you're hoping to prove, Lord. I really don't.
The truth, sir. By using evidence and testimony. If the court... Hang on. If the court is to delve deeper into the alleged involvement of the waxwork in this case, then the prosecution calls for the owner of the model to be summoned as a witness. You want the spells to be here?
Iona.
Madam to spells. There he is indeed. I really thought that Lord Von Zieks would object to this whole line of inquiry.
Very well, I concur. Make arrangements for Madame Dispels to appear as a witness with immediate effect.
Dots. Listen carefully, my learned friend. Oh, yes. You should know that you're on the brink of opening Pandora's box. Thoughts? He knows something, doesn't he?
The court shall now adjourn for 45 minutes. During that time, the prosecution will summon the new witness and prepare her for taking the stand.
Madam to spells. Yes. I shall see to it at once, my lord. To be continued or to be continued? Okay. All right. And you know what? I think I'm gonna call it here. For Rugs Von Zieks, my beloved. Save my current project. Yes, please. We made some boo-boos there, but you know what? We're gonna save the rest of this for tomorrow. So, it is late. So thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Go to sleep. I am gonna go to sleep, Yuki. If you've got the rest of the day going for you, please have a very wonderful rest of your day. If you need to rest and you can press on go to bed like I do, which Yuki right here is very insistently and very fervently telling me to do, then, so he asked me to you. Good night. Let me see who is online so that I can raid. So we will finish this trial tomorrow and we'll be gleaming and seeing exactly what the hell is going on with this case. Yes. Yeah, let me see. Is there anyone online to whom we can raid? Let me see. Hmm. You know what? Let's go raid Mocha. It's been a hot minute. Let me pull out my raid messages, my raid alt, and my raid sub. And we're gonna be making our way over to Mocha. Mochamin. So for those that don't know Mochamin, they are, and from what I can tell, an Archangel VTuber. And they're currently playing some Identity V right now. So we rated them before. And I'm pretty sure they rated us once too. Maybe. I'm trying to remember. Maybe not. I'm trying to remember. But you know what? Going from solving a crime to seeing them commit crimes or hunt people down, Identity V, whichever the case is, sounds pretty good. So we're gonna be making our way over there. So let's go on and give them a good old Snow Patrol greeting, shall we? I'm gonna go to bed. We're gonna be continuing on with this trial tomorrow, and that's gonna be it. So yeah, that's all for me tonight. So let's Toya, and as always, this has been Toya, and I'll see ya.